Explains it all there. You can subscribe to me here on Twitch. On YouTube, it's free. It's the best free way to subscribe and support me is to just subscribe on YouTube. So if you haven't already, please go fucking do it. But you can subscribe here on Twitch. There's a button up there. Again, talking about my arms, my hands is really weird. Do you like jazz? Jazz. Jazz! So yeah, you can subscribe with the button above my head. I'm pointing with my hand, but you can't see it. If you're on Twitch Prime, it's free. Otherwise, you can throw a few bucks into the Quazo well, and I will take some percentage of that. Hopefully a good percentage when I get partner. This is maybe not an affiliate. Hopefully, in a few months' time, we'll look back and be like, haha, remember when you said you weren't partner in that Twitch intro? Okay, I filled 3 minutes of dead time. Hang on. That might have been my hand. That might have been someone else's hand. I guess you'll just never know. Stop it. So yeah, I kind of like my intros to be about 10 minutes long. Because sometimes I take 10 minutes to get set up. I'll load up OBS and something will be broken. What else? What else? I upload once a week to Channel Fireball's YouTube channel. The comment section are mean there. I have Dies to Removal, a podcast. Just Google Dies to Removal. Check out the Tolarian Community College's YouTube channel. Where me and the professor shoot the shit with regards to magic. Twitch. This is Twitch. Twitter. Twitter's good. I'm very active on Twitter. It's a good way to get hold of me, to ask me questions, to engage with me. Go follow me over there as well. Instagram's pretty good. I post pictures of my dog. Post pictures of me. I've realised my fans have been on this whole time. I hope that's not made a lot of noise. Bollocks. I guess I'll turn that off now. Fuck. But yeah, Instagram. Picture of my dog. Picture of me. Picture of food. Magic cards. It's pretty good. I enjoy Instagram. You get to make artsy photos and stuff. Some of mine are artsy. Some of them are... Actually, the majority of them are just like spare the moment thing. Yeah. Birds. Yeah, so jazz. I like jazz, right? Everyone like jazz? This one's more smooth jazz. Oh man, this is so itchy right now. Fuck. Thanks, Bob Ross. Yeah, just gonna hang out here for a little bit. Doo boop ba doo. Jazz. If this comes out really well, I'm going to be upset that you only see it for the first 10 minutes of a stream. 10 or so minutes. I'll probably make it only 7. 7 minutes of me fucking about. I could just like play some like an image of a seaside here now, couldn't I? Like this. And I'm back. Bob Ross with a seaside for a face is pretty weird. If you like this, can we get some capital letter hype in the chat, please? Right now. At the end of the stream, we shall be raiding someone else. Normally raiding down someone with a smaller viewership than us. To share their love. Sometimes up if we want to, you know, network. But, yeah, so we're going to raid someone. So if I say that the stream's coming to an end, or it's our last game, I'm about to go, please don't fucking log off. Stick around, okay? It hurts my pride when we raid with only like half the percentage of the people. Yeah, half the percentage? 50% of the people that were actually in here originally. It hurts my pride. So don't do that. Oh, chat rules. Be nice to one another. Don't be a dick. That's kind of it, really. Oh, there's a donation button down below. You can give bits as well if you want to support. Sharing my videos is a great way of supporting the channel. Like, if you have friends you think will enjoy my videos, fucking show them to them. Anyway, I guess, with only a few more seconds to go, we should play some magic. So welcome to PleasantKenobi's Wonder Emporium. The punt shunt. That's not even a term. The joy of punting. Welcome. Welcome. This is the the pre-stream bit. I'm not live yet, but I will be shortly. I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and welcome to the joy of punting. Yes, this is my stream. I will make some mistakes. That bit is absolutely going to happen. But as long as you're here along the way for these happy little mistakes, that's what I like to call punts, happy little mistakes, well, it's worth it then, isn't it? Whilst you're waiting, if you would like to click down below, I can't move my head too much because of the way this image is made, but if you'd like to click the image down below, trying to point with my nose, it's not working. But down below there's some links. You can join my Patreon via this. You can go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you're really missing out on where all the action and magic happens. Oh, I guess I should explain how you can support me as well, right? So the Patreon, you can sign up for like $2 a month. It's less than a booster pack. And that allows you to be on the Discord server where you can hang out with me and other patrons and talk shit, see when I'm getting low and pissed off at Magic for losing a lot, or when I'm happy because I'm just wrecking fools because it's better to be lucky than good. All those things and more. A giant hentai, all that sort of stuff. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, Vince. How are you?
I got a slightly bleeding nose, so if anyone sees blood, don't freak out. If you don't like blood,
the doctor is in.
Be aware there might be a small
Finally
amount
done with all that nonsense. Here's to 14 more months.
Ooh, hello, Shardfire.
How many questions about the B&R announcement do you think you will get today?
So I would like chat to congratulate Shardfire for me.
Impressing.
Because Shardfire has just finished their
Good evening,
doctorate,
Vince.
their PhD, and they are now Dr. Shardfire, or Dr. Fire, Dr. Shard. So if we can get some like hype in the chat and just some congratulations, because yeah, that's a pretty good achievement.
Congratulations, Dr. Fire.
I expect you to die, Dr. Fire. And thanks for the sub, Dr. Shardfire, and thanks for the sub as well, Shimmer Gloom. Shimmer Gloom is our reigning 2-month champion of the pub quiz shit show, which is basically a pub quiz that we have on the Discord once every month. For patrons to get involved in. Rob, if you ever want to be involved in it, by the way, I know obviously like don't get involved in that stuff much, but I know that quizzes you can be. It's like Mario Party. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But it's great. This month, someone got pushed out of an air balloon. Someone else got trapped in a jar. There's a lot of things happen in it. It's fun. It's fun. John joined in halfway through with the sole purpose of taking points away from Ape, as that's a tradition. Ape was.
Well, that seems like a very honourable thing to do.
He was actually in the lead at one point, and then everyone, because there's a bonus round, you can steal points. There's a lot of blue shell, put people behind sort of stuff. So, chat, let's do a bit of a roll call. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the pieces, Draven. The bits, should I say. Incredible pulls on those VIP boosters. Will we see a deck with them at EDH and Chill? People should definitely use them with Twitch Prime and go check out the video they're missing out. Yes. So if you don't know, I opened some VIP boosters on the YouTube channel today.
29 months, motherfuckers.
Thank you, Ape, for the 29 months. That's insane. That's longer than I've been alive. No, wait, no, it's not. Yeah, so I opened some VIP boosters, so if you're into that shit, then check out some of that. Thank you for the bits, JDB. Draven, the cards that were open today, some of the tokens especially, if you get my drift, will appear in the next paper episode of EDH and Chill, which I'm currently trying to put together. Rob, remind me after this call after the stream to talk about like what days and things you can do if you want to be in some as well. Because I'm trying to get the next like whole batch planned. Of course, I would like you to be in some, so we'll figure that out later. Yeah. You there, Rob? Oh, you are there. Cool.
Yeah,
Just want to. I'll give you a chance to speak, Rob, because I do talk a lot, you know. Thanks for the Spock shout, whoever that was, the prick. JDB says, "Happy Monday, my friends. Rejoice that Pioneer lives." Yes. So there's been a shit ton of fucking bans.
Watsy's burned it down.
I was tempted to do a video, but like that happened as I was struggling to get my fucking video for today to render because Movie Studio's being a piece of shit, and I had to go have dinner and get ready for this. So I decided to not like be an idiot and try and rush me out. So
doing right now?
Ooh, definitely not Pikachu. Thank you for giving some subs to Temer Enigma. Fuck that right up. Temer Enigma. Termy385. Termy, what are you named after? Terminators? The film Terminator? Termites? Let me know. Smash Goliath. Oh, it's all cutting off into 2 lines, so I'm reading it like I can't speak. Smash Goliath. monopolised Andrew Murphy 10Q. Hello, Andrew Murphy. Good to see you again, my friend. And Stone Age Dude Man as well. So thank you, Definitely Not Pikachu, for the subs being gifted out. And thank you, Stone Age Dude Man, for the 6 months as well. That's a long time. It's not quite 21 months, but it's still a long time. It's like 2/3 of a baby.
Know what you're doing right
And
now?
as always, I ask you to
Impressing the
try and imagine
heck
which
out of
2/3 of that baby there is. I'm drinking tea from a Goblins mug and trying to keep up with what's going on. What was I saying before that? Yeah, so I'm going to probably talk about bands in a short video tomorrow, alongside some gameplay. That was going to come out, but I guess I'm going to do the band video now, because I need to talk about it, I guess. Because this is the most bands we've seen on a single day ever, I believe. And it's definitely now the longest ban list we've ever seen in Standard. And also, they finally fixed Pioneer, because a lot of people were upset about that. They've done
6
some work on
months of
Historic.
watching Jank and D&T Plus bands. What a great day.
The sad thing is that they didn't do anything to other formats, like, I don't know, Ashley and Oko out of this format would have been nice. John's correct, there will be podcast, non-magic related podcasts. The PleasantKenobi Variety Hour will come out this week, because I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it now. I think I have to go in and change some of the codecs and rendering settings, because for some reason all of my rendering software defaulted to other settings, which I think is to do with my camera. So I hadn't fucked with my software, but I fucked around with my camera, and then I think when I put the files onto like my timeline, it's made the program itself like default whatever they are, and it fucked everything up, and I had a massive raging rant on my Discord earlier, and I was shouting at my computer, and I was getting ready to literally murder someone. So people are saying, like Megachev are saying, they haven't fixed Pioneer because of Euro. I don't know. I think. Well, they nuked most of the combos out of the format. So this is the thing, Megachev. Do you want mid range to dominate, or do you want combo to dominate? They got your fucking mind, right? How did you play any? Did you play any Vintage Cube this season? I did. I think I streamed it at least 3 times. Those stream videos should all be over on the YouTube. The only one that hasn't gone up this year so far is last Monday, so I forgot to do it yesterday. And Forgotten One says. I always get your name wrong, don't I? The Forgotten... Oh, it's Forgotten One with 2 O's. I always do this. Anyway, Unpopular Opinion will now become an even worse format where Euro dominates. Okay, so you're on the same train of thought as Megacherv. Interesting. Guess I can actually go make a Pioneer video now. Now it's not just all fucking 66% inverter. And they've also banned out Underworld Breach for the Storm deck. I think they banned out Kethis as well. Is it Kethis? Not Kethis. The Hidden Hand. Who's that? Is that Kethis? Was Kethis... Am I getting Kethis and Kenrith mixed up? Which one's the 3-colour Abzan one? It is Kethis. I got it right the first time.
Kethis, yeah.
Hello, Imaginary Gun. Evening's greetings, my favourite MTG contract. Oh, hello. I also make other content now. I made a Warhammer video. I made a Ricky Martin video. I made a video about statues once too. It's variety content all over the fucking shop. Right. I guess we should...
Smoke weed every day.
No, not that. That's smoking weed every day. Let's go to the main screen and have a look at what we're streaming today. This is Legacy Goblins. Now, you missed my Warhammer vids. I only missed 1 week. I took last week off. Don't be like that. There'll be a Warhammer Wednesday this Wednesday. This is Legacy Goblins. Now, Legacy Goblins is a deck that I've played on the channel several times before. And had a lot of fun with it. I think the deck's really, really good. And I think it's always at least a tier 2 deck. And I had to toot a horn. And it's very similar to Death and Taxes in many ways, traditionally, because you get to play Mana Denial with Rishadan Ports and Wastelands and Aether Vials. However, that is not the case at the moment. So, conventionally speaking, there are 2 variations of Goblins. The really common one, which was the Rishadan Port Wasteland and Aether Vial version, which I probably should have loaded into the MTGO to show people. No, I purged the files. Anyway, that deck played a lot of the similar Goblins, but it played a different tempo control strategy. Now... because of the printing of Muxus into Jumpstart. That's right, all Jumpstart cards are legal in Historic and Legacy, but not Modern, because that's not confusing. Because of Muxus, who is literally apparently 4 goblins in a trench coat, because each of these goblins rotates around who gets to sit in the throne and make the rules. Because of Muxus, the deck has changed. Rob, have you got to see any of this complete fucking nonsense yet? Because I know you're quite a fan of goblins.
I am a big fan of Goblins, and I have been playing around with this deck, actually. So I have actually got these cards on my rent account, and I have been trying out because I watched your video that you did on
the Historic one.
Doing right now?
Yeah, and I was like,
Impressing
that's
the heck out.
probably Legacy playable.
First stream in a month.
I'm
Let's
not
get
sure
Goblin.
how I feel about the change, because I did like the old strategy of like the mana denial kind of go under, but then I've just got a love for the underdog, which means I will never win
Thank you
anything
for
ever.
all the
So,
content you pulled your
now
fire
that I've
and
been
your
encouraged to go big,
VIP
I really
booster.
like it. I think
Thank you for
you've got a
introducing
lot
me to
more
the worlds of
sort of
modern
tools
and
to play with, and the deck
legacy.
is so much more explosive than it used to be. Like you could just be like,
Yeah, it's got well,
and then I'm just like, oh, now I've got a prospector, now I've got a case enabler, and I've just won the game.
yeah. So there used to be those combo finishes with Kiki-Jikis and Siege Gangs to extent.
Yeah.
But now you combo off by like using Muxus, which is like it's like a collected company and a big beta all built into one. It's strange. It's strange. So this is the more the stompy variant, as you said. It's not for those who are watching who are new here or have watched before, you might have guessed or might have noticed that I have a bit of a soft spot for Aether Vial. It is easily one of my top 5 cards ever printed. So not playing Vial is kind of painful, but instead we play Fast Mana. So instead of that, we play 4 Ancient Tombs and 4 Chrome Moxes. The Chrome Mox is someone in the chat just asked why not Lotus Petal instead. Lotus Petal gives you... Lotus Petal is explosive in the sense that you don't have to use the card disadvantage to get where you're going, but Chrome Mox is better in a deck that can create card advantage, which we do through things like Ringleaders and Muxus. So Mox is better for ongoing me of the cast red spells as well. So you can go turn 1 Tomb Chrome Mox plus a creature. Next turn you've still got a red pip, where if you binned off the Lotus Petal, you haven't. So
yeah, and it's one of the things I found also with the Chrome Mox is that, like in the mid game, where if you draw a Goblin Lackey, it can still do something.
Yeah,
like
you can throw away useless stuff. Yeah, exactly, like Lackey, Instigator, arguably Mogwall Mushroom, or even in decks where there's no removal, like you don't need it, like
Happy
Storm,
milk to me.
you can bin the Gem Palm into it as well.
Yeah, which is it's something that you need to, I feel that you need to have, because there's nothing more painful than drawing Goblin Lackey on like turn 3. Because it's never going to get there.
Especially like in this deck where we kind of really have to play on turn 1. We don't even get those turns where we get to play Vial and then slam a Lackey. Big shout out to Top Hat PZ and to Andy Cade. Was there another one? No, I just want to give shouts. Thanks for the subs, my friends. Right. I've got an... Oh, I didn't get Live in the Video look, did I? Because it wasn't on anything soundboard. Fuck. I was going to press it whenever I got a sub. As an extra... We'll go with... What else have I got? I've got some files on my soundboard now. I actually spent 10 minutes putting together like a professional content creator.
Holy shit.
So, the deck has, in terms of cards, we've got... Let's do like sort of rolls. Skirk Prospector is another mana ramp card, so it allows us to ditch off goblins that we don't need anymore, like the body of a goblin recruiter. Goblin matron or goblin ringleader, to create mana to get to Muxus mana. But so that's Mana Rock, essentially, like Chrome Mox, or a Birds of Paradise in a sense. Then we have Goblin Lackey, which is the same slot as War and Instigator, which both have the ability that when they hit the opponent, do damage to the opponent, combat damage to the opponent, you put a goblin from your hand into play. Which can obviously be a Muxus, which is insane. It can be a turn 1 or turn 2 or turn 3 Karenko, which is also pretty good, and so on and so on. Mogwall Marshals puts our board wide, which can be good in combination with Chieftains to pump them and just have an aggressive start, or to give us bodies off of Skirk Prospector. The only thing about Mogwall Marshal over his current standard version or historic version, the... What's it called? The one that makes a body but doesn't leave a body behind. What's it called? Either way, there is a one without Echo in standard at the moment. The Echo doesn't matter because when this dies... Instigator, that's it. This leaves a body behind, but with Skirk Prospector, that means this is a 2 mana, make 3 mana. It's basically Desperate Ritual if we have Skirk Prospector in play. Then we've got Gem Palm Incinerator, which is a
Thanks
card.
for the giggles, you beautiful bearded bastard.
Thank you, Terrible T-Boy, and thank you for the 9 months as well. That's impressive.
I like this in Legacy in particular because the cycling action, you can only stifle it, like you can't really
Yes.
Really
well, I played 3 games of Historic earlier, and just while I was waiting for something to render, and one of them I think I was on 2 life, and they had a Hill Giant in play or whatever it is, and I gem palmed it out of the way and won. But if I had any other burn spell and shot it, I would have died.
No, you're doing right
because
now.
it says only spell. That is right, I believe.
Heck out of me.
It's either that or I wasn't on 2 and I survived that way, but I'm pretty sure. Can I card it? What is the giant called? It's the other side of Stomp. Card. Have you noticed I'm losing card names in my old age?
No, you're doing right now.
Not Hill Giant, not literally Hill
gets
Giant.
closer and closer.
Wait, this ain't Ricky Martin
Never.
Tribal.
Never! Thank you, people. 304. 3004. Sorry. That's very different to 304. That's like 2,700 different to 304. And always home as well for the Twitch Prime. Bone Crusher Giant. There we go. There we go. So did it... Was I on 3 or was I on 2? Did it even matter? I only noticed after I'd fired it off. So if I was on 2, it would have killed me. Yeah, no, it is target spell. Yes! So it wasn't that I was on 3. I'm pretty sure I was on 2 life. I incinerated it, my opponent said nice, and then it died. They also died to 2 1/1s. Because they were on 1, and I had this and the insight thing. So I played a bit of Goblins again today, just because I generally like the way the decks play when you've got ringleaders and such. And we got what Goblin Matron 4 copies of, which is basically a tutor for any Goblin. And by basically, I mean literally, that is what it does. It ETBs and gets us a Goblin out of our deck. We've got 4 copies of War Chief. Now, War Chief used to be like a 1 or a 2 of in Goblins. The reason it is in this deck is because of the cost reduction. So this prospect allows you to get much quicker into your Muxus. There's also a haste enabler, so 4 of these plus 2 chieftains gives us 6 creatures in our deck that give other Goblins haste. Then we have 4 ringleaders, which is a hasty 2/2 that looks top 5. In the top 4 cards of our library puts all Goblins into hand. We have 3 Krenko, which I don't think should need any sort of explanation. But Krenko taps to make Goblins equal to number of Goblins you control, which is great if you have a haste enabler. And then we have Muxus. And what Muxus will hopefully do is create such a huge insurmountable board advantage. For example, they can hit us multiple bodies, including like a Mog Warmaster, for example, and a Krenko, and then hit a Chieftain, and then we activate Krenko, and we get all these bodies, and they've all got +1/+1, and then we kill them, and so on and so on. We don't literally have a combo finish looking at the list. Just trying to see if there is anything. There's not.
Not really.
But like Krenkoing out of the Goblins is the best we can get. So we need the combat step. So there are games where we might Muxus, fail to hit a haste enabler, pass to our opponent, and then they just get to combo off. On that note, our sideboard has 4 copies of Charge of the Void, because we are a Chrome Mox Agent Tomb deck. So we don't have any City of Traitors, but we can relatively good at turn 1ing a Charge of the Void. 3 copies of Tormod's Crypt. A Pyroblast for the blue decks. A Goblin Crater Maker for, well, it's just to remove against colourless and creature cards, obviously. 1 singular Blood Moon. This is basically a list that would last 5 off of Goldfish, by the way. I decided not to change anything, just roll with it. 1 singular Blood Moon, which I always find weird, playing 1 singular Blood Moon. Because you aren't tutoring for it. So you just got to hope you draw it in the matches you want it. Seems weird. Goblin Sharpshooter, which is obviously just a very good card against Death and Taxes, Elves, and Delvers. It's good against creature-based decks. Chain Whirler is a very similar role in many ways. Goblin Trashmaster, which is both a Lord and a card that can block artifacts. And 2 copies of Pyrokinesis, which allows us to kill things like Thalias and Wisps and Elves and Delvers and so on and so on and so on. In the matchups where Chalice comes in, they aren't great. Well, what's that, Scrap Savant? Just cut them. Cut what? Hey? Isn't playing Chalice... Oh, you were spoiling to Stone Age Dude Man. Isn't playing Chalice on the board dangerous when we have lots of vulnerable CMC cards? Yeah, so when you're playing Chalice in the Void, you're going to cut some of your 1-drops, if not the majority. Jim Davis played earlier today and hit someone for 328 damage in 1 combat step. If that isn't a combo, I don't know what is. I mean, that does sound like one of the... I mean, that's not impossible, but that sounds one of the better case scenarios. But yeah, this deck does... We see it in the historic version. It does end up hitting people for like somewhere between 16 and like 100 damage because you hit fucking... A chief, 2 chieftains, a Krenko, and a marshal, and I don't know how much damage that is, but it's a lot. I know running a single Bloodbeam stabs at the heart of your mono red prison at the heart of your mono red prison heart. Shardfire for a doctor. You're not being very elegant there with your words. A heart that within you said heart 3 times in the sentence. A heart that within flows blood made of pure spite and sadism. That was almost poetic. Poetry doesn't tend to repeat the same word 3 times. Shardfire. I'm sorry to put you under such duress, my friend. I think you're like a sciencey person too, so I probably should be doing this. Right, boss shows arrive, so it's time for us to log off. Not really. We're going to play some magic now. I'm not a poet, bitch. All doctors are poets. I don't know if you all know this in chat, but when you become a doctor, you have to do a poetry test. It's just the rules. It's just how it is. Right. I guess we're going to queue up some Legacy.
Do it. Been a little while.
Yeah, I played some Legacy last week. I played a bit of D&T. Enjoyed myself. Didn't enjoy playing against Oko 3 out of 5 rounds. Didn't even lose all those games, but it was just still like, just seeing it
it's
again.
It's just a hill to climb, isn't it? And you're like, oh, for Christ's sake.
So, yeah. I do believe that Oko... I know people say Legacy is where the mistakes should go to die and all that shit, but I do believe Oko just should not be in this format. But Vince, have you been eating out to help out? I did eat a lot of junk last week, if that counts.
Another one.
Not out necessarily, but I had like Domino's and 2 lots of Waggers and shit, and I had Chinese on the weekend. But this week, not so much. We'll probably do it at least once this week. Well, I don't know. Well, me and my wife are going to eat out on Friday, actually. But it doesn't count for the scheme. Are you aware of the scheme, Rob?
The what?
The government are subsidising like up to 50% of meals of people who eat out and eat in at the restaurant. Sorry. So if you go to a restaurant on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you get 50% off your meal up to, I think it's £10 per head. So you get 20 quid off for 2 people going, for example.
Another
Oh,
one.
well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Does
the
that just come
government.
off the end? You don't have to do anything about it?
No, they claim it back off the government. That's the way they got try and like to kickstart the economy, essentially. And all coffee shops are doing it. So today I got Nero. No, yeah, Nero. Yeah, on the way back from town when I popped into my PO box. And they were like, "Oh, are you drinking?" I got 2 coffees, one for myself and one for Steph who's at home. Like, are you drinking in? And I was like, I thought to myself, well, obviously not, unless I'm a madman who buys 2 coffees for myself. But yeah, 50% off if I'd kept in. So that's cool. Okay, we're gonna keep this.
Yep, this looks good. Chieftain or
yeah, this is the hard part.
The chrome locks.
Because you want to throw something under the chrome box.
I think we put the matron under.
Yo, PK, you're losing weight. What do you mean, Cyber Dynasty? I'm trying to. I've only just started watching what I'm eating literally like the last 2 days, so I don't think that's...
Gotta start somewhere.
Another one.
Government, here's 50% off of KFC, but 2 for 1 junk food is now banned. Boris running the same scattergun ban policy as what's it seems. Yep, yes, Chris, I agree, because Marlo. But, I mean, if we were to say that Boris Johnson was anything, inconsistent and fucking stupid, are 2 things I definitely would say. Consistently stupid, I guess, would also work.
Yeah.
Marxist at the bottom, in my opinion. Fuck off. Or do we put Marxist on the bottom with me telling him to fuck off, and then we just matron it back to our hand?
I mean, that is an option we have. Matron. The worst idea in the world.
Thank you for the fox shot. I think we put the chieftain under the chrome mox. Put the Moxus back and hope the matron resolves. No, we're gonna put the chieftain back. We don't have to mox turn 1. Because I don't want to like have my matron counterspelled and then, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because matron gives us mana off of our scope prospector, that's why. You want the most bodies. If we just kept Moxus and not the matron, then we're not doing anything at the time we're casting the matron, right? Also, as Whitehot said, we can go and grab something else if it ends up being bad. Okay, let's give this a shot. I have not played with this version of Goblins yet, so there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Thought Seas is one of those things.
Moxus to the bottom would have been better then, I guess.
I don't know, do they take the Muxus? Look at this hand. Do they want to take the matron instead?
Oh, the
No,
chrome
I take the
mox.
Mox, there we go.
Interesting. Stop the turn 1 matron, I guess. Now drawn Krenko, I really wish we kept the chieftain. But then the chieftain is also double red, so we couldn't have cast it very easily.
Well, here we can go like matron into
Agreed. We're
lackey
definitely...
if they play nothing, and then play the lackey, and then try and get in. Like try and put some pressure on them to clear the way for the Krenko.
Oh, it's Reanimator.
Oh no.
I don't think we have much main board for Reanimator. Vince would running some kind of fetch slam for thinning out the deck. I don't think the things. I know that the main Mox is more like to hit, but come on, Whitehot, you know better than that. We don't want to be trying to thin our deck out with like fetch lands. We're just going to die here.
Yeah. Also in aggro matchups, like those points.
Spike it. We played Paper EDH about how long ago was that? 4 or 5 weeks ago on the stream. So they go to 8. They put a good band to play. They're going to go to 1 and draw 7, I guess. But that's risky. If we go land, sting, scourger, attack with scope prospector and kill them, that'd be pretty bad.
That would be amazing. Like just having a matron makes me want to play a sting scourger, but I feel it's more of a sideboard option.
I super love having like 1 of silver bullets though. Okay. I'm just going to look at the deck list again. We really don't have any silver bullets to deal with this Grizzle brand, so it's going to get to hit us and then draw 7, our opponent. Let's go Ancient Tomb, obviously. If we go Matron, we can grab... I think we just have to like combo them off the Muxus, hopefully.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because one of the Krenkos is in our hands, so... Gem Pump does only hit creatures, unfortunately.
Get a huge board. Gem palm with grizzle brand. I think that's a winning stratagem. Maybe to go like mum and then haste enabler, I guess.
Well, if we get War Marshal next turn, we can go War Marshal, sack it all off, and the matron for 1, 2, 3. No, yeah, War Marshal. 1, 2, 3, 4 off the matron for 2 mana. So we're 4, 5. Sack that's possible to 6. So we can play Muxus next turn off of the. I think we have to do that because nothing else seems that hot. Is there any other way to get to Muxus other than that? I guess War Chief, but I mean the Red Source, we have to put Krenko onto our Chrome Mox.
Yeah, that's no good. Ringleader doesn't help us here. War Chief isn't great.
We'll get Marshal.
Yeah, fair.
And then next time we can also put something under the Chrome Mox, skip it more mana. Depending on what Muxus hits, if we manage to keep the Scope Prospect on the field, we can then like go a bit harder again. And this deck's actually really popular, Paintball Demon. This is like one of the top 4 decks at the moment because Muxus is real good.
Doesn't seem real good against Reanimator, but then what does?
Counter Magic, I guess. So we were playing Chance the Void in game 2, so they're going to draw 7 now, and hopefully they don't make like a fucking Chance of the Annex or an Elishnorn or something. So if they do, we're up shit creek.
Or will be the death.
No, Paintball Demon, that's what I'm saying. That Goblins is playing these cards now. That's what I'm saying to you. Check out Goldfish. Just going to click that through to see if I'm not making up shit. So there are versions still playing Richard Port, but the first one I found is a 1-2 deck. The next 5-0 is a Ancient Tomb deck. The next 5-0 is a Port deck, so there is a 5-0 Port deck in amongst them. And then there's a few red black ones too. So yeah, they varies. So the Mog Catcher variant, the Mog Stompy as people used to call it, the Stompy prison versions of Goblins are now on equal footing with the original Port variants. I've got some new emotes, chat. Had them commissioned and made by Inkling Customs. They're available on my Discord. They will be available on Twitch when Twitch decides that I'm a real boy, a real content creator, and I'm allowed to be a partner. I have to put my fan on. I'm very warm. I'll point it away from the mic, chat. Please tell me if that's noisy. It's the smallest fan in the world. It's pretty bad. Opponent's got the 1 life after drawing 14 cards. They're going to entomb. This is an Elishnorn, and they have Exhume.
We will scoop.
We're in a bad spot. And by bad spot, I mean dead. Is the Children of Corliss. So they aren't a traditional, straightforward Reanimation deck.
Ah, they're going to go full lean right into that combo.
They are Tin Fins Extraordinaire. Some form of Stormy combo coming up. So for those who don't know, now they now sack Children of Corliss and they gain 14 life. They gain the life equal to the life they lost this turn, which was 14. So, back up to 15. They now draw 14 more cards. And hopefully this allows them to do some nonsense. Like pencil into a dark ritual and then go off into some sort of stormy kill. 2 petals. The name Tinfin apparently comes from some fucking episode of some fucking cartoon. I always thought it's because Chris O'Brien had tin fins for hands, but apparently not. And I agree with that statement. You don't see Children of Corliss being reanimated every day, that's for sure. That is not a common thing, not a common sight.
At all, but I like it. I'm here for it. I think it's novel.
And there's Tendrils. And we're dead. Cool, right. So,
Sweet.
Chaz the Voids and Tormod's Crypts, I think. Let's take out I love Skirt Prospect and Gomalaki, like some of the best cards in the deck, right? But I don't know if we want to keep them in. We're against keeping a Skirk, I guess. Right. What are they bringing against me? Unsure. I have no idea what the Children call this, tin fin sideboards look like. I assume they will have some other reanimation targets, or they might be all in on the combo. There is a point about taking out Ringleader because of our less number of goblins. I don't know how many slots they got for the reanimation toolbox in H2, man. That's the problem. Do they play Exhume to get around Charles' decks, or do they just hope to dodge the match?
Impressing the heck out of me.
I think Exhume is just another very efficient reanimation spell. You've got Animate Dead, Reanimate. So Reanimate's 1 mana, Animate Dead is 2 of the enchantment, and Exhume is 2. They're like the 3 most efficient in the game, aren't they?
Yes.
Hello, Tidemore. Welcome back, my friend. We've just started, so we've just lost a game. Lackey seems better than Ringleader. Lackey seems better than Ringleader on turn 1 when you haven't got a Chalice of the Void. It is markedly worse on turn 4 when you have got a Chalice of the Void and playing you top deck a Lackey. Yep, so I would assume their default reanimation things are going to be Griselbrand and Annex, the Chance of the Annex. In addition to that, other reanimation decks and legacy can play things like Archetype of Endurance, Ashen Rider, Elish Norn, Inkwell Leviathan, and on rare occasion Enticement Tyrant. However, they aren't just a pretty normal. Pretty sure there won't be a turn 4. That you say that, but like that's what Chalice of the Void enables, right? Yeah. So yeah, but they are a storm or combo deck, as you just saw as well. So how many slots they have for that shit, I don't know. Turn 1 Instigator into Muxus. Is that good enough? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because even if they thought us, we have 2 Muxus. Also, the reason they didn't take a Muxus last time is in case they had to Exhume.
Point.
Just tin things. Chance of the Annex. No turn 1 Instigator for us then. Fuck me. Okay. Chrome Mox, paying the mana for it. That might mean we lose, actually. That could literally be that important. This is default, though. Like, every reanimation deck in the format plays these.
Yep.
Yes. This is not a Tin Fins thing, this is a reanimate thing. And then we'll just play a War Instigator next turn, I guess. Or if we draw a Lamb and go War Chief into Instigator. So we're going to put Muxus under or Matron under?
Matron, protect ourselves from Thoughtseize. But then again, Matron's getting another Muxus, but that slows us down. Put the Matron under. Oh wait, no, oh shit, no, because if they're going to Thoughtseize us now, they just take the Instigator, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. But if we have 2 Muxus and we hit with Instigator, we have to put 2 Muxus into play. So that's nice. I mean, 1 will die, but we'll get like 2 triggers. Of course, done and boring username, you're right. Iona is the one that I was missing. Like, I knew there was some other toolbox that I was missing. Like, Iona's the other big one in the toolbox decks. The toolbox reanimated decks. Whether that be the Dread Return Dredge decks, or whether that be actual reanimated stuff. Thoughtseize take our War Instigator? Yeah, that fucking sucks. They are targeting us, aren't they? Yep. Spike it, are you talking about modern? Because Lattice is still legal in Legacy. Also, if you're talking about a Lattice lock deck, were you just trying to build Tron? Because in which case you can just play Tron. I guess we're going to play a Chrome Mox.
Put a Muxus under it, cast a Goblin.
Yeah, and then hope we survive to next turn to attack to slam a Muxus, I guess. Needs to draw another land to do so. Or a Lackey or an Instigator, actually, because of the War Chief giving us haste. So we're going to put Muxus under there. Wait, is Goblin Grandee anagram of Goblin Grenade? GRN.
Yeah.
GR Grenade. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh. That's probably not purposeful, but if it is.
Well, it's because they couldn't use the word king, could they?
Yeah, sure, but they could have gone for millions of things. Goblin Chancellor, Goblin Lord, even Goblin Aristocrat. The fact that it's a anagram of grenades, got like Goblin, because Goblin Grenade is another iconic Goblin card, right?
Yeah, true.
That'd be appropriate considering Mux is a bomb since Blue Ink Alchemist. Interesting.
True.
So Lackey's good here, Instigator's good here, another Lander's good here. Krenko is good here.
Vince.
Sorry?
We took all the lackeys out.
We did take the Lackeys out, so only Instigator's good. Only Instigator's good. Spiked. You should build Mono Red Tron, the greatest of Tron decks. Fade this looting. Yes.
Another one.
That's fair, Spike. That's fair. So yeah, you can play different versions of Tron with a lot of that stuff. Like the lattice going did not make Tron that bad. Exhume. They'll get a Grizzle Brand. God fucking damn it! Oh, it's Anime Dead. Hello, Death and Cat Mix. Good to see you knocking about. I know you took a little bit of a break, but we need to make some modern D&T content together at some point soon. Hit me up on the DMs. We can talk about it. The DMs. I sound like such a cool, hip young man, don't I? We're gonna get stormed out here. Part of me did want to looking for a chalice, but then the appeal of a turn 1 Instigator into double Muxus was too high, and then they revealed Chancellor, and I looked like a fucking tit. So yeah, we didn't consider Chancellor, even though we've just been talking about it in the sideboarding discussion. Skoda, do they roll a d6? I knew it was multiple goblins, and I thought it was 5 goblins. Because there's... well, there's actually only 4 in the art, so that gets even more confusing. It makes sense if it was 4 goblins, because it's a 4-4.
Yeah, and also he's on a stand chair, so there'd be 2 at the front and 2 at the back carrying it.
Yeah, I guess. But they could have showed him in the art somehow. Like, I don't know, put a window? I don't know. But it makes sense if it was 4 for the 4-4, but I know it's more than 4, because I've seen people moan about it. Keeping didn't make you look like a tit, you already look like a tit. Hey, I look like a handsome golden 21-year-old god. Okay, there's an Iona on red, sure, okay. Cool, so we got absolutely stomped by Combo X, that's nice. We should have mulliganed to Chalice in game 2. I guess if they didn't have the Chancellor, that would have been very, very different, which would have been nice. No, we haven't really talked about the bands yet. We will talk about bands. I will make a video about it tomorrow. The thing with bands is that I get fucking bored of them because we have so many fucking bands all the time. Like, is that harsh?
1 year of sub achieved.
I think that's fair.
Thanks, Gandalf. I appreciate the love, my friend. 12 months is a good long time too. Yeah, just, you know, fucking... this hand's pretty lukewarm.
Not really excited about this.
If you're talking about Legacy, Spiker, Tron isn't your go-to. If you're talking about Modern, Tron is a go-to. And Mono Blue Tron is viable in Modern. It's just not the best version of it. And you can play Tron in Legacy, it's just not normally what you do. Modern being any cards from 8th edition onwards, Legacy being all cards in Magic's history except for the ones that are banned. So you might be getting the two confused. The Lattice itself is banned in Modern. So Tron lost it in Modern. But Lattice is legal in Legacy. But Lattice is played in different decks in Legacy. Should we ship this away, Rob?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I can work with this.
Yeah, so Tron is more the 12-post deck in Legacy, that's right. Our opponent is also mulliganed to 6, which is good. Should we just matron for a Muxus?
We're going to be a million miles away.
Well, we're not though. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Know what you're doing right now?
5 if we draw another red
Impressing the
card.
heck out of me.
True.
I guess we need the War Chief.
Kind of do. Haste.
Okay, we'll get a Ringleader then.
Okay. Oh yeah, Ringleader.
Oh, no,
that's
but
a great idea.
Fuck,
No,
then
Ringleader's
we'll lose the War Chief though. Oh well.
Yeah, that's okay because we will refill our hand, don't we?
Hopefully. No worries, Spiket. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to me, everyone. YouTube.com/PleasantKenobi. Not a war chief, not a marshal.
Ringleader.
Ringleader. We're going to get the old frame, though, because I'm a sucker for the classics.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, that card has haste.
It does indeed.
Always.
I used to. It's got to the point now I've played with it so much because now it's legacy, modern, and historic legal that I don't forget anymore, which is nice. Hello, Hamhock. Welcome. Chat is cut off by a couple of characters on your overlay. Oh, thank you for the heads up. I will move it across. I'm a professional content creator boy, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, thank you for coming and checking out the live stream. The live stream's a bit more chilled than my content usually is, but I'm normally shouting at the top of my fucking lungs. Actually, no, I shout here as well, to be fair. War Chief and the tribes. We're going to just slam Ringleader here, right? Yeah. Does this get countered by something? Do they fetch an island in days? They do not. Sweet. Ringleader finds us. Instigator, Ringleader. Cool.
I would get that chief now.
Yep. So next time we can go Chief plus a war Instigator. Hang on, can we do that? No, we can't. If we draw a land, we can. Then the Instigator can put the Ringleader in. One. Then the second Instigator trigger can put in either the other Instigator or whatever the Ringleader finds us, which is hopefully a Muxus. And then we're just like going off. Just, woohoo! This is pod racing sort of thing, you know? It's working! It's working! That sort of thing. Yeah, the moment Philbo shows up, I'll fucking... Are they going to entomb? Oh my god, not again. Alright, I take it back. I'll play 3 Oko decks in a play.
Fuck Goblins.
I will happily play Oko 3 turns in a row, games in a row instead. Come on. Fucking hell. God, I haven't seen someone play Reanimator in the last couple of bits. I haven't played a huge amount of Legacy, really, like 1 a week, maybe 2 a week at most. So I can't really say. But it feels like it's been a hot fucking minute since everyone's playing Reanimator. Is Philbo like Beetlejuice? No! Philbo's a cunt. No, okay, not really. That's harsh. But they don't like Sun Titan. Okay, so we can't attack into that, so I guess we'll just fucking die. Maybe we'll just draw Muxus. Oh, we still can't cast it, so I have a War Chief in play.
Nope. It's lame. Get here to play Magic, not watch other people play Magic.
Wow, that's just what happens when people enact their game plan, Rob. Welcome to any 4 of 60 card Magic.
Know what you're doing right now? Impressing the heck out of me.
That's frustrating. Thank you, Ringleader. Thank you, MTGPyro00 for the 9 months. Hope you're enjoying all this fucking Reanimator. They took the War Chief, which is interesting. No, we're not running the Snoop combo. I didn't see that many lists 5-0ing with it, so I didn't go for one with it. I say that many, I don't think I saw any.
What else you got for us? Cranko.
Know what you're doing right now?
No haste though.
Impressing the heck out of me.
Seth has a better beard, but you can probably pronounce my username better.
Thanks for the sub, Melotic
Impressing the heck out of me.
Yeah, had to own fucking apples, buddy. Seraph and Spike for 31 as well. Thanks for the subs, my friend. Seth has a better beard. Are you fucking blind? So unkept.
Right
it's like a bush. Just being ready to be on fire. And by bush I mean like a bush like in outback bush, not like vaginal bush. Not the bush on your Anyway. We can play Cranko. Doesn't do a whole lot. It does a bit next turn. I guess.
I mean, play a Ringleader.
We can go Chrome Mox, play a Ringleader and still have a red mana up, I guess.
Yeah, see if we get anything nice from that. Because I used to get his on that hot now.
Yeah, Vaginal Bush isn't a card. I'm gonna go Ringleader. Let me find Mog, ringleader, matron. Cool. Then we're gonna get slapped. Yeah, we're dead. This is bad.
Yeah. Another one.
What do I think the value of my entire magic collection is? I have fucking no idea, but probably far too much. It's part of the reason I decided to downsize a bit of it, like sell off my sort of show and tell to fund my Warhammer addiction. That's right, it's been 56 minutes and I've just mentioned Warhammer. That is a record. I guess we need to draw a Skirk Prospector and then do some, and then somehow get into a Warchief, then into a Kregko. And
Well, that's what I was kind of hoping we would hit off the ringleader, because then we could have gone.
what, one of our 6 haste enablers other than the one in the bin, so 5 haste enablers. Don't be fucking stupid, Rob. How
Exactly.
dare you? We need a Sting Scourger in the deck. Have you noticed this? 2 rounds in a row, we could have made
Yeah,
for
I mean,
fucking
if we're
Sting
gonna,
Scourger.
well, it's the thing. It's the argument, because if we're gonna play Renovator all the time, it's such a good answer. Like an Ashen Rider, but tutorable.
The new PC is pretty good, apart from all the fucking mistakes the company put it together made. Yep, sure. Take the matron here, I guess.
Probably. It's clear we're digging for a.
Thoughts on the Tau, the weeb fish people communists. Yeah, you heard. But sure, I actually saw an advert for the MS Fight Simulator, the new one, where it wasn't an advert, it was like a sponsored article headline came to my feed of PC Gamer saying like it's absolutely beautiful. If it's really good looking, maybe I should get it for the PC just to stress test it.
Another one.
Am I patronising Midwinter Minis? I don't think I am. Okay, we get a Warchief here, and they get an Alshon. Wait, no, I think I just quoted Cosmonaut Variety Hour, not Midwinter Minis. But there you go. Also, perhaps everyone can point out or notice that they're fish-like, and they're Japanese mech suits, and they're communists. Maybe those 3 things aren't hard to notice. You get that a lot with Magic content, where people are like, oh, you made a joke that's like this other one. Like, yeah, because it's not fucking hard to notice when something looks like a vagina. I'm not saying my comedy is like, fucking profound, God fucking damn it.
Did we regret it last time?
Not really. I'm going to try 1 lackey over the Prospector. Oh, sorry, Fullix. Sorry, I misunderstood you. You said patronising Midwinter Minis. Because I thought you meant I'm patronising them. What you meant was I'm one of their patrons. Because I don't think when you're a patron of someone, I don't think the verb of being a patron is patronising, is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it as well? Is it the same word?
Yeah, it's the same word.
Hang on, let me just... Treat in a way that is apparently kind or helpful, but that betrays a feeling of superiority. Frequently shop, restaurant, or other establishment as a customer. Oh.
Patronise.
Or give financial support, yeah. Wow, okay, I thought that it wasn't, but today I learned. Sorry, so that's why I misunderstood you, because it's the same word meaning 2 different things. Or 2 opposite things.
Trouble with text.
Yeah, trouble with the English language in general. Right. Keep.
This is no.
It's fine. 1 time no Chancellor, we got this.
Mulligan to Chalice.
No, they're not going to have a Chancellor this time, Rob. I believe.
I also believe.
1 time no Chalice. Come on. Not Chalice, sorry. What the fuck am I? Chancellor. 1 time no Chancellor.
The annex.
Oh! Also, Rob, this means it can't be counted, so we just realised we can beat Chancellor. Because Chancellor says pay 1 or counter it. So actually,
I didn't. Oh, I thought it was cost 1.
So inadvertently, without thinking about it, Rob, I had big brain played.
Yes!
Right.
They're playing 4D chess, mate.
Yeah, I am just like Donald Trump. Not really. I don't. By the way, for the record, people in chat, I don't think he's a 4D chess master. That's just what people claim he is when they're trying to explain why he did something really fucking stupid. Right. I hope they haven't sideboarded into Fatal Push and have it in hand. That'd make me really upset. Chrome Mox, get rid of a War Chief. For the War Chief and the tribe! under the bus you go. Go on, Warren. Go on, Warren. I went to school with a kid called Warren, and he was an absolute fucking prick. Now, that's through the lens of young me, right? Nowadays, I might look and be like, oh, perhaps he's got, reasons to be a prick. He might have had undiagnosed ADHD or something similar, for example, which made him, just very difficult at school and difficult to be around. But he was a bit of a prick to me, so I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to stand by it. He was just a big bully. I don't like bullies. And we're going to get fucked here when they go, no! It's alright, we're going to top deck another one, right? Or a ringleader, or a matron. So ringleader, matron, all Marxist is good here. Original people is always correct. No, it's not. That's completely fucking wrong. That is not true at all. Oh, they're going to have a 4-4? Don't tell me they've sideboarded into a lot of goblins. That'd be so annoying. No. Imagine if they hit a goblin somehow.
That would be incredible.
Okay, that's a blocker. I didn't want that instigator to land. Bollocks.
Oh,
They took such a good fucking line there. It's unreal. Props to our opponent.
Yep. Kudos, opponent.
Why are we not playing Sting Scourger? All these fucking Goblins players have no idea how to play Legacy. I'm so angry, Rob. I'm so fucking angry.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you.
Fuck! And I don't want to be dismissive of the Goblin community, of anyone, whether it be Goblin Lackey or Jim Davis. I know those people. But I don't leave the house without a fucking Sting Scourger when I play Goblins. God.
Another one.
And you take the matchups you can win, and then you just take the hits as you go. Just accept that you can't sideboard for.
Wow, Rob, look.
What the fuck?
Anyone in chat seen this before? That is new, surely.
Is that like leyline into exhume at that end of turn? Fucking hell.
Krenko.
Make many goblins.
Do I just make them an attack with them?
Yes, you do. Just run around the Muxus, right? That's what we do. And also, if we draw a Prospector...
We won't, because I sideboard them all out, but yes.
Good.
I don't know if Finale's ever better than Green Suns in Legacy, honestly.
You are a 2-mana Dryad, do you?
No, exactly. I think it's because the same for Cloud Post. You can pay it for 10 and stuff. Oh, don't go off now. Come on. We said Leyline of the Anticipation number 2. Sometimes it really be like that. You just draw your blue ley lines.
Just 2.
I'm going to charge on 1.
Why?
Because it stops Faithless Looting out of the bin, it stops Reanimate, it stops Thoughtseize, it stops Pushes out of the board. On 2 it's stopping Zoom and Animate Dead, so I guess it hits more Reanimate. They don't have a Reanimate thing in their graveyard. They're still trying to discard, aren't they? It also stops Entomb as well.
Fair point.
So yeah.
Entomb's 1 mana.
Yeah, exactly, so we put it on 1. If they had something in the bin, I think it would be better on 2. Maybe keeping that back in case we draw a land from Muxus. I don't know. This gets them dead.
Yeah, we just want to get...
we can't chance on 2 either, because Chas isn't a goblin. That's a very good point. I'm over here like, yeah, the War Chief let us play a 4-drop, so we must be able to chalice on 2. We can't. That is not even an option.
Also, we could have swung with the Instigator there.
Yeah, actually, they would have been dead. No, they would not. They would have brought the Instigator.
They would have been dead, no, but they've been on 1.
Nah, you got to keep your turn 1 creature alive. It feels like you're winning harder. Run it back.
Prospectors.
Nah, we've got Chalice.
Come on.
I think having any of the 1-drop is probably bad. We're gonna look for Chalice now because we can't play a body on turn 1 with even like that we did there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ricky Martin with Irritable Bowels is my favourite card that's going to be in Minikube. And I can relate, because I've had plenty of dodgy food at conventions that gave me a bit of a shitty body, as they call it. This hand isn't terrible, apart from the fact that we were just out of combos. We have to mulligan. Okay, snap
Yes.
keep. We're going to
Snap
bottom
keep.
chieftain or war chief? Chieftain? Because the one reduction's pretty good for Muxus.
Yeah. And then we just ancient tomb, chalice, pray to
Well,
God.
they're
and
gonna. So
aliens.
we've got some problems here. They thought sees us, we lose the chalice. If they entomb, it's too late. If they dark ritual into entomb exhume, it's also too late. So there's a lot of problems here. Entomb. Oh, we can't even get a fucking sting scourger. Oh my god.
There you go. Got it. You've got it, right?
Know what you're doing right
Enrique
now?
Iglesias is just a poor
Impressing
man's
the
Ricky
heck
Martin.
out of me.
I'm just going to go out there and say
Goblins,
it.
goblins, 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 pride, a woo.
Thanks, Sloth AVI. I agree.
If they pay Reanimator, it's too late.
Oh, why are we not playing fucking Sting? Just one copy. 61 card goblins. Chaos goblins. Yes, Sting Scourge would be better than Blood Moon. Thank you, Walrus Boy. You were completely right. One singular Blood Moon is not good. I know my OneDrive is full. Fuck off. Oh, you know what? We'll just go next. Oh, they're targeting themselves. That's probably worse. How can we possibly win here? So we get hit for how much? 14. So yeah, Fatima, like traditionally, again, the ones that play like the Richten Pulse and shit, you're playing like between 1 and 3 Caracasses sometimes. But originally, what Goblins was doing was playing Thalias on the board too for the combo matchups. But now it's more Splashing Black for things like Black Counter Magic. No, Black Counter Magic. Sorry, Black Sideboard Tech and Weapons Munition Guy and the other one and so on. We're fucked, I think. Okay, I'm gonna grab some water and then we'll play round 3. So my belief, my firm belief after 2 games, which isn't exactly the biggest of sample sizes, but we did play against Reanimator twice, is that A, it's not the best of matchups, and B, this fucking Blood Moon that I called out when we looked at the deck, I was like, I don't know why this is here. That being a recruitable or ringmasterable or muxusable fucking Sting Scourger that can then bounce a Animate Deaded Grizzlebrand, or bounce the Singular Blocker, or many, many other things that it can do. It can bounce a fucking Emrakul, don't forget everybody. It can bounce a fucking Emrakul. Yeah, it seems a lot better, right?
Yep. Let's do that now.
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
Well, no, we've still got 3 games this league to go, haven't we? So, otherwise I would, because we can't change deck during the league. Right, I'm just going to grab some water. I'll be back in 2 seconds, Rob, if you want to chat to these fucking miscreants in the chat.
Oh, chat to these fucking miscreants.
Right. Do you know what? I've never even looked up what the word miscreant means. I assume
It means not ragamuffin, does it?
a person who has done something wrong or unlawful. Well, that's very generic. I thought it'd have a more specific thing like that, like, I don't know, someone who smells bad. But no, it's just someone who's done something wrong or unlawful.
Probably someone in this chat.
Let's be honest, this chat is full of wrong uns. Right, I'm back in a moment.
Alrighty. Hello, chat. Let's do what we usually do when I'm here and we are alone together. You can ask me anything and learn interesting things about me and stuff. Or anything that you'd like to ask. Favorite pizza topping? It's, buffalo chicken. Rob, how can I say on 5D chess? Only if you can explain the 5th dimension. Hello, thank you for the love, everybody. Do you like banana cake? Yes, I do, and my girlfriend makes rather nice banana cake, which is very tasty. I've got more into cake these days. I never was a cake person, but yeah, now I'm getting into it. What decks do you like to play? I like to play really stupid, like convoluted, kind of combo-y sort of decks, like Kiki Chord and stuff like that, or just flavorful themed decks. Favorite tea? Breakfast tea. Underrated hamburger topping? Pineapple. Apple juice or apple cider? Apple cider. Have you ever left the country? Yeah, like loads of times. Would you rather live in cowboy times or samurai times? Samurai times. It's closer to now times, so the sanitary must be better. No, wait, cowboy times rather, the other way around. How are you? I'm good. Can you wish me a happy birthday? It was yesterday. Happy birthday, Admiral Blastoise, for yesterday. We'll be taking a 50% food discount on food, and what will you get if you do so? I don't know. Vincent explained this to me earlier, and probably somewhere in my local establishment, I imagine. How can I make Mishra's Artifact Prodigy deck? I don't know. Will you let John sub in for you? Why did you let John sub in for you? Oh, because I'm a busy person with many things to do with my time. I can't just hang out with you all week. What are your thoughts on the pedestrianization of Norwich City Centre? I think it's a good thing and a right thing, and we should keep cars away from pedestrians because they're dangerous and cannot be trusted. What was your favourite sword? What is my favourite sword? What an interesting question. I like I like the sword in Curse of Strahd that is like a lightsaber but kills vampires. No question, just hope you're having a good day. No, I am having a good day. Green yellow bananas or yellow brown bananas? Oh, green yellow bananas. Actually, I like them like less ripe than overripe. Have you ever tried high tide? Yes, once. It didn't go well. Are you cool? My mum thinks I'm cool. So that counts.
We've won the die roll. I am back, by the way.
Huzzah! Hello.
Well, do you prefer Indian or Chinese?
Indian.
You said historically me too for like my entire life, but recently I've just not been feeling it when I've had Indian. Maybe it's because the Indian locally isn't so good.
Okay. Indian starts to turn on you when it starts to turn on you, right? You know, your palate changes when you spend half the next day with gut rot.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I should just give it some space and then
give it some space. Find a nice Indian restaurant. That's what you want to do. Come to ours. Come to the Gulshan. It's really good.
Well, yeah, we need to meet up with you, so maybe we should do that. Is it open? Is it doing socially distant, responsible eating?
I don't know. I need to inquire.
If you find out, maybe we can make use of this 50% in thing if it's in the deal as well, and we can meet up and do that.
I will find out.
Because under the guidelines, you're allowed to share a table with one other household, so that would work.
Okie dokie. Cool.
Yeah, I do like. Well, I think I prefer Indian on the whole, but both Chinese and Indian are much such broad types of food. Okay, what was Boy 71? To make sure that you understand, we're not being like painfully ignorant of entire cultures here. I think what the question was is which of those takeaways do you prefer? In England, those takeaways, that's not that broad. They can still vary quite a bit. Indian more so, and Chinese can have a lot of dishes on the menu, right? Like most Chinese have like
but they'll
70
both do
dishes.
chicken and chips, so you know there's crossover.
Is that your goat? God damn it! Well, that sounds awful.
That is not my goat.
Fucking hell! I'm glad. We're gonna put Muxus in first to see what we get off of him. Then War Chief second to hear everything haste. I think.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Or if we hit Haste Enabler and we hit a Scope Prospector, we might want to put Matron in off of War instead, depending on what else we hit, so that we can go get what we need to then cast off of the Skirk. So
I think we go Muxus first.
Muxus 100% first.
Yeah, if we get a Haste Enabler with our Muxus, then we do Matron to get a Scope Prospector or a combat piece.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
a Ring Leader. Yeah.
So yeah, British takeaway places are So when people talk about those food tabs, they talk about that. Oh, drew a Scope Prospector. Cool. Okay, so let's go attacking. Yeah.
Yeah. So see now we could go Muxus, and we might have to put the Scope Prospector in on the second hit.
No, because we can cast it after combat.
Yeah, we just cast it.
So first hit. Oh wow! Look at our deck. Do that thing it does. Is this what they kill it with? No, they don't. Okay. The black force equipment. The -1, -2 counters. So instigator hit 1. Muxus. Look at top 6 cards, put all the goblins into play. We've got Lackey, Matron,
lovely.
Instigator, and Lackey. Matron's going to go grab, I guess,
Another one.
Krenko.
Yeah, but this is post-combat Krenko. That's what I meant about the lack of goblin finish, right?
No, but Krenko goes in the hand. Oh yeah, but we've got the lackeys just to put it into play.
And we've got we got Scope Prospector too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no. Do we get Ringleader here to put? Oh no. Or do you get Muxus and put another Muxus in? I think we'll do that.
Yes, I think you've hit upon it.
And then another hit. They're going to have Toxic Deluge, and we're going to look silly.
However.
I'm going to keep this one because he's in amongst it, and I feel like he'd be in amongst it with his people, you know?
Yeah, he's a man of the people. A goblin of the goblins.
We hit another Matron and a War Chief.
And a Haste Enabler.
So this Matron's going to go.
So this Matron gets Krenko. Then we play the Prospector.
Well, I wonder if we hold back.
Okay, so grab the Krenko, don't play it, and then keep.
But that said, if we play the Krenko, we can then play the Matron, get another Krenko, and hold a Krenko in our hand.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to overextend on turn 2?
We have no Sharpshooter main board. We should have one Sling and Lieutenant, I reckon, as well, because then you could like just sack off your board to ping them. And then we're gonna go make a red sacking a matron. Make a red sacking.
If we put a Sling Gang Lieutenant and don't change our mana base, we will draw every turn in our opening hand.
Yeah. Krenko. Oh, it's one less because of War Chief. Derp. Make a load of goblins. Sacrifice those goblins. So this is where we'd have a win con, like, to immediately just get someone with, you know? It's a shame.
Yeah.
Matron. What we need now is something that pings our opponent for all the goblins we have in play. But that's not a thing.
Ah, Mons. What we need.
Pashalik.
Yeah.
No, but then you have to sack stuff.
Give it-
Oh, we have a sack outlet.
Yeah.
Why is this... How did this 5-0 without the utility bullets? How did this 5-0 without Pashalik, Mons, or a Slinger?
Oh, it's really leaning hard on those instigators, isn't it?
Fucking Christ. Okay. What did I say we're going to get? Because if they...
We didn't really go there.
I said Krenko, but if they do untap and... They can't untap and talk Deluge. Let's just go and get a ringleader. Yeah,
Grab a ringleader. That just gives us coverage, and then everything else will be fine, I think.
Pashalik plus, yeah, Skirt Prospector would have, like... Would that killed them there? 1, 2,
Not quite.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, because what we'd do, Rob, is we'd sack a load from mana, then use the mana to sack some more to make more goblins of the Pashalik Mons. So we might have got them dead. Oh, they're gonna... This is Storm and we're dead. This deck we're playing is really good. Evidently it has powerful turns. Show and tell. Oh, please just be an Emrakul, not an Omniscience. Please just be an Emrakul, not an Omniscience. Please.
Scourger.
Oh no. Well.
Fuck. Got a load of goblins.
Yeah, Kronos, there's a couple of like obvious silver bullets that we just don't have. Drawn from Dreams. Okay, so they don't appear to have summons. That's good. So let's look at the top 7 cards of their library. Puts 2 into their hand. They're looking for shared summons to get an Emrakul and a Grizzlebrand. Or they're just looking for an Emrakul to cast to get another turn. If they cast just an Grizzlebrand, we're fine. It's anything that gets them an Emrakul or cast an Emrakul. So they're now brainstorming. Their fail rate is very low here because Drawn from Dreams will obviously hit them. If it doesn't hit them actual gas, it will hit them cantrips, but should find them gas.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay. Impulse, 2 cantrips down. Also, you would have won if you had tacked with haste and then sacked. What do you mean? If we had a Pashalik Mons, you mean? Because Jafar, right? I'm going to give you a top tip, buddy, as a friend. You've come in literally after the combat step and then asked me why we didn't attack. Okay? None of these things were in play. None of these things were in play before the combat step because of the Warren Instigator. Okay? That's why we didn't
Twice
attack.
turn 2.
That's why it's turned to... Yeah, there we go. There we go. I know you mean well, Jafar.
But we are not that thing.
Get your information, you shit. Fucking hell! Stop it!
Oh my god.
This now digs and this can find shared summons, another cantrip. I know, buddy, I know.
Jesus.
Oh my god! Chaining Narsets, please fail. I have had a player many moons ago when Omniscience, when Dig Through Time was still legal, they chained like 3 Omniscience in a row and didn't hit an Emrakul and I killed them. It was a glorious day. They got a Drawn from Dreams. Okay, the fail rate is like 0 at this point. I'd assume that Jim Davis might play some of the utility bullets we're playing, or do they think that's not good enough? Are we just playing all the matches where we're like, I wish we had the silver bullet, but everyone else isn't?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. They're just... I think of it this way, like, people have had time to be like, tonight, I'm expecting a lot of goblins, so fuck it.
This is insane. I think they've seen their entire deck at this point, so I think they're just trolling us, right? So Narset goes how far deep? 4. So 12 deep with Narset. 14 deep with Drawn from Dreams. I guess they might have shuffled off their ponders. I didn't check. I thought they played another. Oh, this is their first ponder. They put 2 cards on the bottom with preordain. Chose not to shuffle. So that's 3. Okay, so that's 14 plus 12, 26 plus 3, 29 plus 3. Oh, only one from brainstorm really. That's 30 plus impulse is 34 plus preordained. They both go to the bottom. 34, 34, 34, 34, 36. Another ponder. If no shuffle, that's 36 plus 3, 36 plus 3, 39. If somehow, well, that's in the whole deck now. That's in the whole deck. They're just doing it for show. They have 37 cards, unless they don't have the cards in their deck. Cool, cool, cool. Why did they take that long? I'm assuming they're streaming. They're doing it for show.
Showboating. Yeah.
I won't even wait to see if they have something else to cast next turn, or with a. Because we actually had enough goblins to survive the swing and like have stuff afterwards. This sideboard, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not saying it because I'm salty. I'm saying it because it is. This sideboard is fucking shit. Like, what is this? Honestly. Fuck me. Right. We don't want this or this or this or this. I don't know if we do want chalices. They're pretty good, but they're not like amazing. We definitely want these. They were blue-black, weren't they?
Yeah. Or may have black fetches. Oh, I know, Underground Sea.
Because Panzer, they saw 39 cards in their deck, and they had a card. They had 5 cards in hand. So if they looked at all 39 cards of their library, they had at least another Emrakul in their hand, or a Wish. Unless we think our opponent has come into this event with only one Emrakul, and they only found it in the bottom parts of the deck. Like, yeah. Yep, we have nothing. We have no crank. We have no Kiki Jiki with anything that goes well with. We have no sharpshooter. We have no Pashalic Wands, and we don't even have a Sting Scourger for these like fucking matchups like Reanimate that we just played twice. We're on the play. I kind of don't want to. Charles is good because they play like 12 cantrips, but yes, Crowhost. This is a 5-0 list. This is the top list on Goldfish, the 5-0 list. And I am a little bit confused. No, I'm not gonna. The person who played it is probably still very good and knows what they're doing. That's not what I'm trying to insinuate. I just don't understand how there's like we're seeing such glaring issues in such a small sample size. So it makes me feel like they might have like got lucky to dodge some of this stuff. If that makes sense. Because like we just didn't stand a chance against Reanimator. There we had like a really incredible turn 2, but it was just too late in the turn. 4 cards to cut. Gem Palm is useless. I mean, Goldfish doesn't lie. It is a 5-0 list, but that's the problem. Just knowing abstractly that's a 5-0 doesn't mean shit, you know.
Because
according to Goldfish,
they play against aren't going to be the same decks as the decks we play against.
Yeah, according to Goldfish, Reanimator is not even in the top 12 in terms of meta percentage, but that's also using stuff offline as well. Not that there's that many offline tournaments right now. Yeah, this might be anti-Delver. That's true. That's very true. I really don't know what I'm meant to be cutting here.
I want to be as I don't know. I say we want to be as aggressive as possible, but we couldn't be more aggressive last turn. We still lost.
Yep.
And we have no way to disrupt it. So besides bloody Bloodblood.
Bloodblood's not good here. I don't know why I'm bringing it in. Honestly, probably shouldn't be. Okay.
Well, we've got the Pyroblast and a Lackey, so this
Pyroblast plus Lackey is probably, yeah, as I say, probably the plus Amuxus. That's probably the best hand we could possibly have. Unless they go turn 1 Petal, Soul Land, Show and Tell, Omniscience, kill us. So, yeah. There's an argument for perhaps just keep it Pyroblast. But no, I'm going to let my shields down for 1 turn. Well,
I mean, you walk a dangerous path, my friend.
I know.
I'm down for it.
I had a stop just to kill them. Did you see our turn 2? Did you see it, Walrus?
That's what I was saying. Like, it couldn't get more aggressive.
Like,
and yet we still lost.
Yeah, there was no draw where we were more aggressive than that because none of our lackeys or anything can have haste on our, unless we had like a triple Chrome Mox plus a Soul Land. So it's 4 cards plus a lackey plus a War Chief. Wait, that doesn't work. Does that work? Plus a Muxus? Yeah, that's the perfect hand, right? No, because then you need things for the Chrome Muxus. No, this deck cannot do any faster than that. And we had no...
What we need is...
Well, no, it can be. It can be if we had ways to sack our board off. Like you were saying, Pashalik Monzes, the Sharpshooter, even like fucking one copy of Siejang or some shit, I don't know. I don't like not starting with a clock. What? Panzer, are we looking at the same hand? We have Lackey, turn 2, make a Muxus. What's faster than that in our deck? Am I taking crazy pills? Am I misunderstanding the format or something? What is faster than putting a Muxus into play? Panzer, I'm waiting for your answer, my friend. I feel like a teacher scolding. What's your answer, young Master Panzer? Good vehicles to take. To take out vehicles as Blood Angels. Anything with Thunderhammers. Not anything, but most things. So, like, Death Company will fly in, they'll Thunderhammer the shit out of something, killing it, then die. Or Vets with Thunderhammers. Or Sanguinary Guard with Carmine Axes. Or Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers. And you deep strike them all in behind them. Oh, okay, Panzer, I'm with you. So we're on the same board. Yeah, we need a clock. So we keep up Pyroblast from here on out. That's it. The other options are all the typical Space Marine stuff. You can get a Repulsor Executioner. You can get Eradicators, which are from the Indomitus. You can get Devastator Squads and all that sort of stuff. I'm also quite partial myself to Dreadnoughts. If you're playing on a smaller map, you can have your Dreadnought like walk up to an enemy tank and just punch it to death. And it is glorious. Because Dreadnought Power Fists do... They're double strength, so they'll be between 14 and 16 strength, which means you'll be wounding on 2s or 3s depending on the vehicle. They do like a 3 damage to D3 or to D6 with the Redemptor per hit, and with Blood Angels obviously you get extra attacks to 3 onwards. Also, you can carry on those vehicles Plasma Incinerator on the Redemptor, Melter Guns on the Contemptors, and so on and so on. So yeah, or Grav Cannons on the Leviathans. All those things are good. My friend told me to get a Relic Leviathan with Dread with metal guns. Your friend is correct, Stim. Relic Leviathans went up in points more than Contemptors. So there's an argument for getting 2... Real world money will cost you more money. But price up 2 Contemptors to 1 Leviathan. I think they're marginally more expensive than Leviathan. But you have like double the wounds. And if you field them as relics, they have like invulnerable saves that are way better. A 2-up save, 2-up ballistic skill, 2-up weapon skill. They're insanely good. So whilst I love me over Leviathan because they look sexy. There. The relics are better in terms of like getting more bang for your buck. And you can also, with 2 bodies, you can move them around the board and shit. Okay. Stuff AVI, if you're building any troop choice for any of the armies, I could be wrong on maybe one account here, but any troop choice. So for Marines, you're talking Primaris Marines or Tactical Marines. For Necrons, you're talking Warriors. For Tyranids, you're talking Gene Stealers. Any unit choice. Actually, Tyranids might be the exception because some of the troops might not be playable in there. But Gene Stealers there, Orc Boys, or so on and so on and so on. They will be playable units in Kill Team. They might not be the best composition for Kill Team. But yeah, so always get 1 troop. Because you need a troop to field Battleforged armies anyway. Dread Hand times 2 to 3, -3/-3 Redemption Hand times 2 -3 D6. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So yeah, Redemption Fist being a D6 has a lower damage threshold at the lower end, but when you I rolled a 6 against someone and just blew up their Hive Turret, and I was like, guess Redemption Fist can be good. They're pretty good. Fuck, I love Dreadnoughts. I think everyone who plays Space Marine should have at least 1 Dreadnought. If they're not a fucking coward. Let's go ahead and attack. I'm thinking of getting a 3rd Redemptor. I'm not joking. I love that model. It's like... It evokes all this stuff as a kid that I love, like, you know, the big robot in Robocop 2. ED-100 or whatever it's called? It's like that.
I know the one you mean, the one that can't go downstairs.
Yes. The Redemptor looks like that, like it's struggling to go downstairs. Right, let's make a Muxus. Sorry if someone asked this already, but why did you cut the chalices? I don't play Goblins, so I really don't know. We didn't cut them, they're on our sideboard. They're finally into data plays between 12 and 11 cantrips. However, I wasn't sure if that would really get us there because their deck can then just like go land, and then just show and tell. And I mean, it may not have that, but it doesn't rely on them in the same way like Delver does. Like Delver can't win if it can't cast its 1-drops. But Sharon, other than obviously Gurmag, you cast them into it and stuff like that. Not that they're playing Gurmag anymore, it's the Vug version. But this deck doesn't need its 1-drops. That's why. Okay, that was a pretty good land. We've got Krenko, a haste enabler. Cool. We didn't get a Skirky Boy, so we can't hold up Pyroblast by playing creatures, so we're just going to pass to our opponent. We're going to make Krenko tokens in their end step. I love Krenko. Both versions, but the original more. He is... I need to do a top 5 Goblins video, Rob.
Oh, yes, please.
I do need to do that. That is a thing where I can get really fucking into it. Well, who is... Just off the top of your head, not like the definitive list, but what are some of your favourite Goblins? Obviously, Kiki is probably number 1, right?
Kiki's my number 1, 100%.
I mean, he must be most people's number 1. He's pretty fucking good. Like, power level, flavour, uniqueness, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a dark ritual.
I really like Goblin Sharpshooter. I really like Sling Gang Lieutenant.
Fuck, we're gonna die! Yeah, we've lost. We've lost. Our opponent has played very well. Because this looks like a show and tell, Rob. Maybe it won't be show and tell into Omniscience, into Cantrip, into Kill Us, or Omniscience into Emrakul. Because they only have 3 cards left in the hand after this. So maybe, just maybe,
We'll get it.
we'll catch a break. Because I don't feel like I've kept a bad hand here, chat. Fuck me. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Krenko survives here, by the way. Oh, this actually isn't that bad. Holy fuck, this is pretty good. Hang on, they might just die. Okay. Right, so Krenko survives and Muxus survives. We untap, we play a Monk War Marshal, we tap Krenko, then we attack with Muxus for a whole bunch of damage. So we can go Marshal. Make a body. So there's another line of text on Muxus that everyone forgets. Which is, he gets +1/+1 for each other goblin you control when he attacks. Mm-hmm. So this is a 2-turn clock.
+7.
So 11/11. Ow, just stuck my eyelid. Ow, ow! If I looked weird there, chat, like a dog chewing a toffee, because I pushed on my eye and my eyelid like pushed into my skull and it hurt. Ow. Do you ever do that, Rob, where you stick your bottom eyelid inside your skull?
Can't say I've ever done it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they just untap and show and tell us now, do they?
No. For a removal spell and then scoop.
Cool. Yes! Come on, Muxus, you beautiful bastard. Okay. So they actually, not only are there 4 Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, and probably 4 Preordain, but at least 3, there also appear to be 4 Dark Ritual. That is...
Oh, Shattergang Bros.
Against... Oh, as in like one of your favourite goblins. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're good.
Of course. What is goblin that he's playing Commander but nowhere else that you like? Is there anyone?
A goblin that he's playing Commander and nowhere else. That's probably Shattergang Bros.
That is true. Maybe we should play a Nigfit deck with Shattergang Bros in it sometime, just for the sake of it. I don't even remember. I know it's got like 3 different abilities. I just don't even remember what they are.
Sacrifice an enchantment, blow up an enchantment, sacrifice an artifact, blow up an artifact, sacrifice a creature, blow up a creature. Or they have to sacrifice a thing.
Okay, that's probably not so good in Nigfit then.
Nah, no, it's not.
I think I do want chalices. Yeah, Blood Moon is bad. Blood Moon's real bad.
Super bad, yeah. Go away, Blood Moon. Oh, we know what we need to do. Explosive term and dodge that deluge or whatever it is.
Is that in the lore? But Confucius is saying that Shattergang has 3 goblins and one of them was killed by Krenko.
Yes, I believe that is true.
Have you seen the Pelucanos model they released? Or sorry, I say released. They're releasing.
I've not.
It's part of the WizKids radar. We'll have a look at the Theros models. So for those at home who don't know, Wizards sent. I asked them. They sent me out the Theros D&D book. So I'm going to have a read through that and record a bit of B-roll and have a talk about that in a video this week, which I'm going to call "What the Fibblethip Is." The Mythical Odysseys and Theros or whatever book, and talk about like where it sits within both Magic and D&D a little bit, because there is no other Greek mythos campaign, at least for 5th ed anyway, that's official, so it's kind of fulfills that role as well. But anyway, that's more about the video. But the point is, I was like, oh, I really wish they'd released WizKid models with this, because they did for the Ravnica one, and I thought those were great. They weren't perfect, so maybe great's a bit of an exaggeration, because they weren't the highest quality. But when I opened one of those blind boxes and got an Arclight Phoenix, I was like, huh, that's really cool. And I've got the Niv Mizzet. Rob, do you know I have Niv Mizzet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got Niv Mizzet?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good. Oh, I was going to say, you better have one, otherwise I guess that gives me an easy birthday present for you, I guess. But yeah, so I've got the Niv Mizzet, because Niv Mizzet is one of my favourite characters in the game. He's a big fucking red dragon. He's a wizard. Like, he's everything you want from a character in both D&D and Magic, right? Peluconos is the version of this for the Theros one, and for some reason all the models came out 2 months after Theros book came out. A month after the book came out. Because the book came out last month, in July, and the models came out in August. And then obviously Theros itself came out in January or whatever it was. So it's like, wow, they're fucking late on this fucking train, aren't they? So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, the Peluconos I don't think is as cool, right? But I guess other than... Oh, hang on, they could have put like a... Oh, can you imagine if it was a Perforos model? I don't know if he's got a character sheet, I need to look for the book yet. But can you imagine a Heliod or a Perforos model?
Wow.
That'd be way cooler than a generic fucking Hydra.
That would be really cool. And they've got a Demogorgon model, so they must be able to do something equally as godlike.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll go get the book in a minute and have a look to see if it has the gods in it. Hello, Swarm from Colombia. Hello, my friend. We've mulliganed, and this hand is also not good, but it does have turn 1 plays. So, chat, are we keeping this? Like,
pretty good. Pretty fast. It's got a lot of things we need.
So we can go turn 1 Instigator, turn 2 Matron into Muxus and Spray. It's better than the 5, right?
Yeah, 100% better than 5.
I'm going to put back War Chief. No, we're going to put it under the... We're going to put Lackey under the Chrome Rocks. Keep Skirk, put back War Chief. Okay. This hand isn't good, but it's better than the average 5, I think. Also, yeah, I didn't realise that. People are saying the God model will have to be really big. But, like, yeah, Tiamat is a big model, isn't it? Isn't that bigger than the Tiamat model they released? We'll have a look at some D&D models in a moment.
Yeah, they're pretty tall, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It just has to be... I mean, what's he going to be? Like, gargantuan size? So that's, like... a base of 5... Like, 25 inches? So, no, 25 centimetres?
Let's put the Lackey under there. Sure. If they have Force of Will, we're in a fucking awful spot, I tell you. Oh, no Force. Good. They might have cut it because of knowing where we've got the caverns, maybe. Who knows? I do, like, basically, anything D&D Magic combined, I will either ask Wizards to give me, or if they don't give it to me, I'll buy it. It's just simple as that. Like, even from a sense of, like, I got a bit tired of the Ravnica setting, like, I only played like 2 one-shots in it, but because everyone was doing it, right? But I still love the book, and the idea of it, and just having a book that has like a D&D character sheet for Niv Mizzet, that's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh god, we're going to have a matron. Okay, never mind, because we can draw lots of good stuff at the top. So, if they did a Throne of Eldraine book, I would have picked it up. If they did any Amonkhet, anything, I would have picked it up, because... Oh, Duress is not Thoughtseize. We're good. So they're going to show and tell. We're going to matron. If it's plane shifted Kamigawa, yeah, of course I do, Stim. What are you on about? Of course I do. I mean, there'll be problems because they've already come under heavy fire for like, well, yeah, whether it's going to be culturally sensitive or appropriation and shit like that, right? That's a problem they're currently fighting with to try and make all their brands less of that. But Innistrad is the obvious fucking one. That's the obvious omission, right? Matron into Muxus, I guess. Okay, put Omniscience into play. Their first card is drawn from Dreams. The last card, sorry, should I say, is drawn from Dreams. Are you a fan of the D&D Magic books? How do you feel about them as a big D&D nerd, way bigger D&D nerd than I am? What is your opinion on them?
I really like them. I think they created a lot of like interesting lore stuff for players to get into, which I think is really cool. And they kind of used it as a way to experiment with kind of giving players more options. So like with the guild stuff, you have like specific guild spells, for example,
Right, yeah.
which really brought the Izzet characters to life in a way that like translates really well into other kind of ways to play D&D. So you can use the rules that they set there as jumping off points for creating your own content. So if you did want to have this kind of like artificer kind of mecha wizard kind of character, you can realize that really easily with like what the Izzet do. So I think the guilds of Ravnica one in particular like gave a lot for like to play with, like even outside of the game.
How would you respond if a player came to you and said, I want to use some of the guild specific stuff from Izzet or Azorius or whatever in your homebrew or your Faerun campaign? Would you do it? Would you not do it? How would you deal with that?
Well, it's just it's a question of saying that, okay, so is there such a community or group as the Izzet as it exists on Ravnica in my world? Yes/no. Or do we just need to just change its set dressing a little bit, but mechanically keep it the same? Because ultimately, the flavor is whatever we want it to be, whatever we decide it to be, and where it all comes from.
Yes.
But having the mechanics that we know work because they've been play tested properly, it's not going to break the game too much. That's the key thing, because then everybody has an enjoyable experience, and you can use the lore in whichever way you want to.
So in many ways, it's nice to get these books that give people those things, because that's the thing. Like the flavour, as it were, is all set dressing, right? As long as the mechanics work in some functional way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and so long as the mechanics feel like a representation of the lore, that's the thing. It's that translation. That's why when they were first playtesting in 5th edition, why Rangers really weren't clicking, because the lore that they'd written for Rangers and the abilities that they gave them in the playtest set, it just didn't quite get there, because it tried to do all the things that Rangers could do in 3rd edition, which was basically everything.
Yeah. I do feel that the Rangers 5th edition don't have much of an identity either. Like, I mean, the player that plays them in my group, he is not much of a role player anyway. But like, it just seems like he's just an archer with some spells, which is kind of what Rangers have always kind of struggled to get away from, right? Is there more to that? Is it just because my player's not really playing to their strengths, I guess, because he's like new and stuff?
Maybe. I think to some extent, yes. And you're right, it is hard to define what a ranger really is, because they're just like a backwoodsman, for all intents and purposes. So, it is challenging in and of itself. But like, there's no getting around the fact that in previous sets, like the ranger felt like a ranger, and in the 5th edition, in its playtest version at least, it really didn't feel. They went through some revisions, and now it works. But yeah, it's just an example of that. Like lore and mechanics need to reflect lore, and if they do that, then you're being successful. Yeah,
sweet. Yeah, because that's what I like about a lot of. I was having this argument, not an argument, discussion with a friend of mine about Warhammer, where they were moaning about every book that comes out, because he was annoyed that, like, he said, "Oh, there's always so many books. You got that book there, because I have one rule in the book that improves my army." It's seen as just a way to make them a bit better because they were a bit shit, right? And I said, well, there's no difference like Dungeons and Dragons or like a new Magic set. Like, you don't have to have those cards necessarily. I get from a competitive standpoint, sure, it might be frustrating, but if we're just playing super casually, and D&D's exactly the same, right? It's nice that you can pick and choose what books you take from and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And usually when you play games, if you've got like an established group and everybody is a lot more experienced, what you'll usually do when you set up a game is you say, right, okay, these books are allowed, these books aren't.
Yeah.
And you can, so a lot of times where people come to me and say, oh, I've got this book, can I use it? Like, so when we play 3.x, they're like, we would be like, my whole group.
Yeah, because there's like 5,000 books, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah. And then people would say, like, oh, can I play the book? I'll say, yeah, okay, give it to me to look over the weekend. I'll read through the book and make sure everything's okay, which I'm happy with it, and then I'll give you a yes or no answer at the end. So it was like we came to the conclusion that like the Book of Vile Darkness and the Book of Exalted Deeds were always banned because it was busted and ridiculous. But all the other books were fine, So yeah, and you build your kind of play group around it in the same way that you would do with like you say, with Commander or with Cube.
Yeah. Oh, we're dead. Oh, that was fun while it lasted. Yeah, there you go, chat. I feel like I'm not making a lot of decisions and I'm just getting killed. I feel like this deck has toolbox, enablers, and then not a toolbox.
No tools.
So it's just like, here's a key, you open, you're like, oh fuck, we're under attack, and someone throws you the keys, so there's a zombie horde at the doors, right? And you throw you the keys, like, in the cupboard! And you open the cupboard, there's no weapons. And you're like, well, fuck. And then the zombies just pour through the walls and tear you to shreds. That's what it feels like.
I was imagining something more like, we need a spanner. You open the toolbox, it's just full of hammers. With goblin faces.
Just goblins! These are goblins! These aren't even hammers or spanners! They're just fucking goblins! We are gonna play more rounds of this deck in this league. I want to try and get a win out of it, but I do feel like if we just had access to the stuff that I never ever leave without, which is something that does pinpoint damage, that's sharpshooter or Personic Monster, even one or the other, and Sting Scourge as well. I'm always wanting Sting Scourge somewhere in the 75, whether it be one in the main deck to tutor 4 or one in the sideboard to play in tutor 4. Grab the peaches from the cupboard and you open it up, it's just dogs. And you're like, fuck! Fuck! Right, I'm just going to go grab that Theros book for 1 second and have a look to see if there are gods. So I'll be right back in 2 seconds, Rob, and we can talk about this. And we can have a look at these minis as well, because I want to... Because I just like miniatures in general. I think that's what's kicked me into Warhammer a bit, was when I started picking up some D&D miniatures. It's like, oh, this is so close to actual Warhammer. Back in 2 seconds, Rob. Before we do chat to chat, and then we can do a switch over or whatever.
Alright. Hey, chat. Again. Goblins can be handled if we hit them hard enough. Interesting story about that. There was we playing D&D, and the boat the party was on was attacked by goblins, and the half giant samurai who's in our party grappled one of the goblins, and he said, "Can I attack the boat with the goblin and break my weapon?" So we had to roll an attack roll with disadvantage to hit the boat with the goblin and smash the goblin to pieces, and we did it as an attack roll, which was very amusing. Have you used Hero Forge before? No, I haven't. I've seen it. It's not really got into it. Hey, have you ever been to Leicester? No, and I don't plan to, because apparently it's a plague pit. Or was that somewhere else in the UK? I think I'm pretty sure it's Leicester. It's got lockdown put back in. Are you playing 40k yet? It's only a matter of time. No, I'm in this. I'm currently in the process of moving house, so I've neither the time, money, or space for 40k. Favorite goblin flavor text.
Another one.
What is it? Hey, Paul, there's a goblin behind you. Yeah, so nothing. Just saying. It's Wave of Indifference. It's not my favorite goblin flavor text, but it's the one I can remember off the top of my head. Can I see the deck somewhere? Yeah, we'll bring it up when Vince comes back. What settings do you generally DM in? Generally, it's Faerun of the Forgotten Realms variety. That's my go-to. But yeah, I've done. I'm currently doing Ravenloft or Barovia rather, as a setting. I guess you could call that setting. I've done Eberron, quite a lot of Eberron. That's pretty sweet. And what's the other big one I've done? Planescape. Planescape. How does D&D adjusted distancing? Pretty well, actually. I'm lucky enough to have Zoom Pro, thanks to work. So I host it on there. It's much more stable, and we use Roll20, and we've really got into it. It's been really good. I miss being able to have pizza and beer and chat with my friends, but it works. They certainly are. Oh yeah, Goblin Offensive. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the new Ravenloft? Looks cool. I haven't had a chance to dip in yet, though. What country would you most like to visit, assuming COVID never happened? Gee, I don't know. There are so many places I'd like to visit. I'd like to go to Antarctica, really. I'd like to see that cold, icy snowness.
Really?
My favourite D&D class? Cleric. Favourite Pokemon? Furret.
Or are you just assuming that COVID means we can never travel again now? Is that what we're thinking?
Apparently so, yeah. Because there isn't a...
So there was obviously a Zendikar plane shift thing, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a PDF that they created.
Because I used...
It was like the precursor to all of these.
Yeah, because I used a bit of that. And someone in the chat earlier said there was an Innistrad one, but I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, there was one. Okay. It was pretty good because it was split into two halves. So there was like classic Innistrad, and then there was fucked up by.
Oh yeah, because it came out because both came out around the time of BFZ, right? Or like just after BFZ. So it was during Shadows of Innistrad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't when original Innistrad came out. Okay.
Yeah, and they tied a lot of it into Barovia, so you could have like the what the fuck are they called? The vampires from Magic in Barovia, which is pretty cool.
So, okay, here's a question for you, Rob, because I do not know this. Are there stat blocks for the other? There's stat blocks for things like Tiamat and stuff, who is a god, right? Are there stat blocks for the other gods?
A lot of times, yes. Well, some gods, yes. Some gods, no. Different versions vary. Different editions have different stats for gods. So, like Orcus, for example, has got like 5 different versions of himself.
Isn't
a lot
Orcus
of the gods
a lesser god in a sense? That he's like a demon prince, right? He's not quite. He's not like fucking Helm or someone, is he? Or
no, but he's very much godlike. But those gods specifically, the main pantheon are. I think the first time they did it properly was in the Forgotten Realms pantheon book, which had stat blocks for all those gods in them. A lot of the time, what they did though was say like they've got the power divine, which is a 3rd edition thing. And they differentiated that with like fightable versions of those gods by having avatars of those gods, which give you like a watered down version, like that people can see in the world.
Yeah, okay.
And they did have the stats for the gods themselves as well, but not all of them. So.
That makes sense. Because I'm thinking like if you had the gods, which I'm looking here, the gods are not like NPCs that you can use. They have stat. They are, but they have stat blocks. If that makes sense. And because there's a section on each of the gods, like Ifara, it says here like Ifara's champions, Ifara's villains, Ifara as a campaign villain, and so on and so on and so on, each of the gods. But to me, the fact that there are creatures like Perforos and Heliod in the game that manifest when you have enough devotion, to me it feels like the Theros gods are kind of different to the gods of other D&T settings, in a sense they have physical embodiments that can get into a fist fight with another creature or another player. So it would make sense to me, especially considering Elspeth went up to one of them and stabbed them.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. They're such an integral part of the world. They need to be. You need to be able to interact with the other, with the players, with them. In D&D, for example, you can. The gods they're very abstract because they represent specific domains and elements and things like that. So you can still be like a good cleric who actually worship a god specifically to get the power and things like that. So it's a bit more nebulous, whereas it makes sense on Theros to have the gods be a lot more interactive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Tim. You're saying from a D&D standpoint, how do you fight a god? From a traditional D&D standpoint, the gods are literal gods. The Therosian gods aren't gods like they're not like the Christian god or the gods of D&D. They're much more physical. They have a physicality to them. They can't just
like how Xenagos was able to
get stabbed by
ascend in the first place. He always said, they're not gods. They're just really powerful beings. Like, they're only gods because that's what they call themselves.
No, we haven't played Gobs, Rob. We're just taking a quick breather from getting smashed by combo decks to just talk very quickly about the Theros campaign setting and some stuff that I'm going to talk about in a video later in the week. Probably put that out on Thursday or Friday, hopefully. But I was just curious because, so let me get it up on the screen now. If we go to the main screen and grab our window so we can look at this model. Where's no, hang on, I want that.
Vince, if you could pick anyone living or dead to play D&D with, either as a DM or as a player, who would it be?
I'll pick Rob.
Oh, thankfully.
Just we don't get to play much, do we? Because we live.
No, we don't.
We live hugely apart. I guess we were getting round to playing, weren't we? Pardon?
When's our video?
Yeah, that's fucking. That's yeah. But we were getting around to actually considering playing in person, weren't we? And then, well, now look where we are.
Yeah.
With fucking. Cool. Come on, give me some pictures, goddammit! I want to buy your stuff. Give me pictures. There we go. Icons of the Realm. We want Icons of the Realm. None of this D&D nerd shit. We want Icons of the Realm Warhammer Magic, don't we? But they're not on the website. Look, see, there's just. That's weird. And also, the other Magic ones aren't here. Because these are like 2 of Annihilation ones came out like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
A while ago.
What's it called? Mythical Odyssey. What's it called? It's got a really silly name. Mythic Odysseys of Theros. And all I get taught is that I cannot spell mythic. No, Odyssey, sorry. There we go. Minisgallery.com. Oh, they got us. They got us. There we go. Okay. So, some of these look better than others. Like this one's really cool because it's actually transparent in the base and in the body. A nymph naiad, and it's got like sparkling bits on it. So that's cool. Doomwake giant Brimaz. Here we go. There's no image of the model yet, but yeah, it's my boy. It's my boy. So these aren't out yet. But my point was, there it is. Pelucanos.
Hey, cool.
There's a crowing hoplite spears flaccid. Where? Oh yeah.
You see that with a lot of D&D miniatures. They have the jelly-like spears.
That's just that model was not good. I'm just gonna say it out loud. I know, like they sent me a book and stuff and shit, but well, WizKids haven't sent me shit. But that's just not a good model. Like, and I'm being forgiving because not everyone makes the models that Games Workshop do because they're like on a whole other level. I get that. But yeah, Leonin is a race.
Some of the D&D ones have been really good.
What, the WizKids ones?
They look, yeah, some of them look really smart. I think, not like you say, not all of them are great.
Yeah.
But I think.
It's the famous termination head. That's cool.
I love that thing. Although I play so many players now, like that everybody knows what it is. You can't put it
that's the good one. That's why you got to play with some complete fucking noobs, Rob, like I do. They have no idea, and everything's a surprise. And it's kind of wonderful in that way, you know.
Yeah,
there's no real metagaming going on. None of them even do their homework and what their own abilities do, let alone reading online what other things do.
Well, yeah, that's true of my party to a greater extent as well at the moment. Although now they've got Peter on the team, he tends to he remembers everything and guides everybody perfectly, which is an asset they sorely needed, to be fair, because they were really good fun.
I really hate this Master of Waves as well. Look at him bending backwards with like big white eyes.
That's very strange.
Yeah, but anyway, my point was.
Know what you're doing right
They
now?
got Pelucanos.
He's on a gargantuan base, by the way.
28 months of nursing at that sweet milky teat of
thank
wonderful
you,
content.
Thank you, my friend. 28 months is insane as well.
My dude.
And for a streak as well. So I just want to take a moment and say thank you, Anarchist Ape. You have been around for a long time. I hope you stick around for longer, and I hope I never disappoint you by, I don't know, accidentally stabbing you. Wait, that was very weird. I didn't know where to go with it. Thanks everybody. We're having a quick chat on D&D before we jump back into the last couple of games of the Goblin League. I had to stop playing as a player because my personality pushed me to min-max everything. Yeah, that's a problem, Stim. Everyone needs to try and avoid that if they can. Unless your group is into that. If your group is into that, then that's fine, obviously. Yeah. So, two-headed Cerberus, Underworld Cerberus. These things are challenge rating 6 and 2, so that's not really a big one. The Ashen Riders are challenge rating 16. Do you understand challenge rating, Rob?
Yep.
So how good is a challenge rating 16?
It's pretty strong. So you need a group of at least sort of 4 level 14s to be able to not die to it in turn 1. Generally speaking,
it has
what its abilities are.
Well, it has legendary actions.
It does have legendary actions. That makes it really tough.
Reduced to ash. The Ashen Rider targets a creature it can see within 60 feet of it. The target must succeed on a DC 18 Constitution save or take 27 or 5d10 necrotic damage, and its hit points maximum is reduced by amount equal to the necrotic damage taken. Oof! This reduction lasts until the target finishes a long rest. If the target hits, point maximum is reduced to 0. Its body and everything it is wearing and carrying, except for its magic items, are reduced to ash. A creature reduced to ash cannot be revived by any means short of a wish spell.
So if it can do that as a legendary action, it can do it at the end of any creature's turn. So even if it doesn't go first in the initiative order, it'll be the first player does their action, and then they're like, okay, kill you. So
yeah, it has 3 actions total. That one costs 3. And it regains 1 every turn in terms of its own stats. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, it'll try and just outright kill someone. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
That's just weaker power, word death. Yeah, but still, it's on a creature. Like, just an enemy creature. I guess that you could have that as a boss character, I guess. A celestial, lawful, evil, immune to charms, exhaustion, frightened. Yeah, so that's an option. But I guess Pelucanos is more iconic and more big boy than that. The Colossus of Akros, and that could be a cool model. It is. What does it say its size? Is that on the stat block?
Surely its size is massive, like Titanic, which isn't even in 5th edition. Because it's.
Whereabouts in the stat block is its size? Do you remember?
Near the top.
Armor class, hit point, speed, stats, saving throw, skills, immunities, conditions.
Higher than that. It should be a description of
gargantuan construct.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's the same size as a Pelucanos, apparently.
Okay, so if it's gargantuan construct, that means there's only 20 feet between the entrance to the Acroas harbour. That's you barely fit
A big boat.
a ship through there.
Yeah, that's not very big, but that's because of the confines of 5th edition, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do you want to guess how many hit points the Colossus of Akros has, Rob?
390.
Oh, well, 350.
Oh, so close. I think to do the god models, you'd have the same size one as Polychronos, but you'd have like a Nixian kind of misty waistband.
That's what I was
so you
thinking.
only
That's
have
what I
the
was
top
thinking.
half.
Exactly, yes. It's like, no, you don't have the legs or whatever.
Yeah.
Fleece main lines in here is a large monstrosity. Not a very exciting one, though. 100-handed one, 243 points. It can't attack 100 times, though, unfortunately.
Oh, that's pointless then.
It can deflect attacks, apparently.
Okay.
Also, a 100-handed one in the game is a 3/5, right? What's the stat block on a Doomweight Giant? Is it a 5/5?
It's 546, I believe. It's got a big butt.
So Doomweight Giant is a 4/6 and 162 HP, but the 3/5 100-handed one has 243. So that one point of toughness is 80 points of HP.
It's more representative though, like in its mythology, because the 100-handed one is one of the Cyclopedies, or no, one of the Hecatonkes, which are like one of the ancient Titan-like creatures, like from before the Age of Heroes. They're like really badass.
So they're the proto-Titans until they actually did Titans in Beyond Death.
Hecatonkires, that's it. Thank you, Draven. So they have 100 hands and they throw rocks like constantly at the Titans, and then they beat the crap out of them.
They beat the Titans. Right. Apparently, Fleece Main Line has a legendary action. Let's have a look. It can claw as a legendary action, and it can roar as a legendary action. Wisdom saving throw will be frightened. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That is kind of cool.
It's pretty good. I like frightened. Frightened is one of my favourite conditions.
That's when they can't get any closer, right?
They have to flee, and also it forces people into role playing. You are scared of this thing. Be scared of this thing.
Yeah, because my party were really wrecking things just really badly. Hawthorne's barbarian was just destroying things in close combat, and then they fought like a minor lich thing from some DM's guild thing. I put in like a smaller tomb inside the jungle of Cholt. Yeah. And they fought it, and I just looked down the list of spells, and I cast like frighten or fear or whatever. And he was just stuck on the other side of the room, like cowering in fear, and they almost died because they couldn't rely on the big barbarian man to punch it to death. So yeah.
My typical solution to barbarians is flying creatures. Like they suck against flying creatures.
What do barbarians?
Yeah, get a bit of evasion, and it really puts barbarian off. Like most of the time, what you'll find a typical barbarian character will do is try to run and jump and grab it. But if you stay far enough away, you can really sort of neutralize them, force them into coming up with different ideas.
Well, I've got this problem now that when we eventually resume, when like it's within guidelines and stuff. But when my players died, so they rebuilt, and because they were looking for races that were on Cholt, they built on a Kroken or a Kroken, the bird people, monk. Mm-hmm. But the rules are really loose and allow them just to fly around like a fucking idiot. So I'm having to employ DM stuff like, no, you can't do that in combat. No, it might hurt your wings. And there's a puzzle where they just flew over the gap, and I was like, well, that's shit.
It happens. So what you want there is low ceilings, like very low ceilings, or magical proximity triggered traps. So they don't fly over the trap. So if the trap would normally be like they step on it, you would say that there's there's a magical kind of like barrier, and if they pass through that barrier, then the trap triggers. And then they take the damage some other way.
Oh, and this never spikes on the floor anymore. It's swinging axes from the roof, right?
Yep, exactly so.
That's Stone Age Dude Man says windy conditions.
Yeah, windy conditions. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, weather. Yeah, that's.
Okay, guess the HP of Polychronos.
500.
No, 232.
Oh, really?
Has
he got regeneration in the head?
Yeah, it's the whole Hydra thing. So it's challenge rating 19. The heads are like 40. Yeah, when you take 40 damage, your head falls off, and then the head grows. 2 heads grow back if they don't do 40 or more fire damage, and when a head grows back, they gain back 20 HP.
Okay. Cool.
And then it's multi attack, a bite per head, Yeah, a bite per head, and it starts with 5 heads. The bites are like 2, 10 plus 7. Stomp and a tail attack, and then it's got legendary actions which are detect, tail swipe, and trampling charge.
Okay, so pro tip for those of you DMing Hydras and you want to make it harder, first action, bite off one of your own heads.
That feels like metagaming. That feels like min-maxing a Hydra.
Yeah, and then you get double the heads, and then because we're playing 5th edition, you get your legendary action, so you basically don't waste your turn. It's a strategy.
Fucking hell.
Or just start with your Hydras with extra heads. That might be easier.
There are Nyx Fleece Rams in here.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Just see if there's anything else legendary. Falaskia is an armoured skeleton. That's not so exciting. Returned Drifter, Palom Knight, and Sentry. Satyrs, Triton Shore Stalkers, and Master of Waves, who's a CR8 spellcaster of some kind.
Does he summon horses?
Does he summon horses? He's an innate spellcasting, Ray of Frost, Cone of Cold, Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, Windfall, and he also summon Water Weird. Ha!
Yay.
So the elements are weirds in this. That's interesting.
That's odd. Because there's a word for the seahorses. They're not hippocamps, but I think.
Well, they're elementals mechanically, but you mean like within the lore?
Yeah, within the Greek lore, like, or is it just hippocampus? Can't remember.
And they can they've got under their actions Rare Frost as a cantrip as well. Okay. Woe Strider, Typhon.
Another one.
No. Oh, then they've got Arastas, which Chat was on about. So Arasta is a huge mythic monster.
Mm-hmm.
It is a CR21. This is the big spider from Beyond Death, yeah?
Oh, okay, yep.
So Armour of Spiders, mythic trait, recharges after a short or long rest. If Arasta is reduced to 0 hit points, she doesn't die or fall unconscious. Instead, she regains 200 hit points. In addition, Arasta's children immediately swarm over her body to protect her, granting her 100 temporary hit points. So she has 300. And then if she's reduced to 0, she goes back up to 300.
That's amazing. I love that.
That'd be so... Can you imagine a party struggling to kill it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Then legendary resistances, magic resistances, spider, climb, web walker, multi-actions of bite and claws, and web of hair. Arasta unleashes the hair in a form of webbing that fills a 30-foot cube next to her. The web is difficult terrain, the area is slightly obscured, it lasts for 1 minute. Any creature moving has to make a DC 21 dexterity check. On a fail, that creature is restrained. 21 strength check to get out. On a success, it can free itself and move within 5 feet. The webbing is immune to all damage.
Okay. An indestructible web spell. Okay, that's cool.
Except fire.
Okay. That was the thing they used to do with web spells was that if you set the web on fire, anything in the web takes a shit ton of fire damage. So one of the things you used to be able to do was cast web as a 2nd level spell and then light the web on fire as like a low budget fireball.
Right.
Everything that was
I mean, like playing the old Black Isle isometrics, you would web the room, grease the room, then fireball the room. But that's not budget. That's just
effective.
That's just cheesing shit, right?
Yeah, I think the cool thing with the spider boss is that you want to set like the lair as being like the party has to move on webs to even get close to her, and so she can really take advantage of her 3-dimensional mobility and all that kind of stuff, like the demon web pits in the old 3rd edition. Like, so you want to set that scene really well to make the best use of her spider clone powers.
She also has she can recharge for 2 actions. She has how many actions? Huh. It says these cost 2, but it doesn't tell you how many she has. That must be a... Oh no, she has 3. 3 legendary actions. Swarm, Toxic Web, Swipe, Web of Hair Recharge, and Nyx Weave, where anyone in the web takes 4d12 force damage, and it cancels any level 6 spells or lower, like a Dispel. Huh. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I really
she's
like
a challenge rating 21. So... So that's her, and is there any other mythics? Oh, Hithonia. The big Lady Gorgon. That's challenge rating 17. She's just a big Gorgon.
Cruel.
That's it. I think they're cool.
She got really fast turn to stone because flesh to stone in 5th edition is shit.
Petrify's Gaze. 30 feet, they have to make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw if she isn't. If they.
Another one.
If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature's instantly petrified. Yeah, because one of my party got turned to stone. Yeah, that was it. The person who's now a monk, their character was petrified by a Hydra.
Yeah, but to do that, you either have to fail catastrophically.
Yep.
The same throw, or if you fail the saving throw normally, you're like slowed and then paralyzed and then turned to stone. It takes 3 turns, and each one of those turns you can make a saving throw, so that you're guaranteed not to be turned to stone. It sucks because you should be turned to stone. Like,
I remember. Yeah, it was a very unfortunate chain of events that happened with our guys turned to stone because there was a lot of bad fails and stuff. Just reading this is the same. Strange creature must repeat the saving throw at the end of the next turn, becoming petrified and a failure. Excuse me, sorry. So if they fail by 5, so if they're 13 or lower, they get instantly petrified. Otherwise, on a fail, they begin to turn stone and restrained. On another fail, they're stone. Is that quicker, or is that the same?
Stunned and paralyzed are different.
So this is just restrained, then turn to stone.
Another one.
Okay.
Yeah, so they go restrained into stone. So yeah, and she's just got like 1 hit points, and then they've got Tomocratis in here as well. The big
Tomocratis.
Yeah,
my big Kraken boy.
Yeah, a 26 challenge, 409 HP. It's amphibious. It has Heart of the Kraken. When it's reduced to 0 hit points, it doesn't die or fall unconscious. Instead, the damage creates cracks in its carapace, revealing its hearts. Tomocratis has 4 hearts, 2 on its chest and 1 on its back, and 1 at the base of its tail. A heart has an armor class of 22 and 100 hit points. It is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks, and is immune to all conditions. If it is forced to make a saving throw, it treats ability scores as 10. If it finishes a short or long rest, the carapace heals, any destroyed hearts regenerate, and the hearts are covered again. Tomocratis dies when all the hearts are destroyed.
Oh my god, that's amazing. So you got to like climb around on its like floating corpse body, killing off all its hearts. That's so cool.
Especially if you put other things in the fight as well, I guess.
Yeah, like smaller like sea creatures or
another one.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a rough waters as well. The waters near Tomocratis are always treated as rough, apparently, because of.
Okay, that's a big problem if you've got a boat. Like if anybody's done salt marsh, we'll be able to attest. Getting tipped out of a rowing boat into choppy waters basically kills people because usually there's something horrible, pointy in the water that wants to kill you, and it's so hard to get back in the boat and stay there on choppy waters.
It's also got spell-resistant carapace, so has advantage on saving its spells, tentacles, tails, bites, and pincers. It's got lots of attacks.
Yeah, that's what you expect from a Kraken. I like that. I'm a fan of that. Does he have a thing against ships in particular? Because some of them are like,
siege monster.
Siege weapons.
Deals double damage to all objects and structures.
Yes. That's what you want. I love. Like I would put like any. I feel any creature that is like gargantuan or bigger should just be siege monsters anyway. Because there's no reason why Pelucos can't destroy a building. So
that's interesting. Tamara Enigma is saying doesn't it? They interpret it as it's still fighting with the hearts on display. But I think once it reaches 0 health, like anything that hits 0 hit points is incapacitated. That's how D&D works, right?
Yeah. So the idea is that like it has, it needs some time to regenerate because you can say after a short rest, so the hearts regenerate.
It's the last thing in the book, and it also has coral growth. So each creature within 10 feet of Tomocratis must make a DC 25 Dexterity saving throw, or take 3d8 slashing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Instead of the next turn, Tomocratis' hearts gain +2 to armor class, so it grows like spiky coral, basically.
Oh my god, that's so cool! So like you have to try and fight it, but it keeps growing coral, and you're like being stabbed by it constantly.
But so yeah, because Stim's asking if they got Anax available, which I don't. But I know one of the models. If you look at these models, is one of the legendary. Hang on, look. So there's Siona, which is the uncommon green-white one. There is where is she? The one of the red-white ones too. Where's the chain? Where the fuck have they gone? Oh, there. Taranika, Regent of Akros. That's the red-white one, isn't it?
The white one that turns you into a mini Gideon, I believe.
Oh, is that Taranika? Oh, okay. So yeah, they got models, but they're not.
Maybe
in the
they're like
creature section.
named NPCs in the book that don't have stats.
Must be part of a small quest or some shit that's in there. Just looking at the thing real quick before we carry on. Character creations. So in this you get some new races too. You get Leonin and Satyr. And Triton. And Minotaur. Well, that's not new, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, Minotaur's not especially new.
Oh, well, Minotaur was definitely in the Guildmaster's Guide as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's been in other things. But, like, Leonin's new, isn't it?
Was the, I know it's Loxodon that we're in Ravnica,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Leonin's pretty cool.
Don't know what they get, though.
No, something pride related, I imagine. Some claw attack, strength, speed, agility,
What
though,
do
because
they
they're
get?
cats.
They have a 35-inch... it's not inch, sorry. 35 feet speed. 6 feet to 7 feet. Medium-sized. They have mature same rate as humans. They have bonuses to 1 to strength and 2 to constitution, not agility, weirdly. Claws and natural weapons. Hunter's instincts, the proficient of athletics, intimidation. In one of these, athletics, intimidation, perception, or survival. Daunting roar. Bonus action, they can let out a roar. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet of that. Here you must make a DC equal to your 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your constitution modifier. If they fail, they're feared. And then there's got languages.
Pretty cool.
That's kind of it.
Bit meh.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like it. I like that the races are there for you to role play with, but I'm glad they don't like add fucking stupid shit. Like some, when
Like wings.
like wings that make them fly. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, Rob, but you took the words out of my mouth. The realms of mortals and gods. There we go. Akros. I'm just going for these creatures, these people. No, nothing. It's got to be in it somewhere. No Silent Secret is the adventure. 184. Does that have people's stat blocks in it? That's where you find old what's his face with the frozen ring in Tomb of Annihilation is within the adventure, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
God, seeing all the magic art is sweet. No. Cool. So yeah, that's that book. There's nothing on the gods as characters that you can fight, which is kind of a shame. Again, just to reiterate, I get that gods are normally more powerful than that. I get that. But in Theros and Magic, they aren't. You can literally cast the card Prey Upon to make your creature fight theirs. I mean, you won't get very far. Is there a Jace mini? Not in this, but there was in the board game, wasn't there? There was a board
Yes,
game.
there was. Yeah.
Who would want a Jace mini anyway? Jace is a
But
fucking
to have
scrub.
a painted one, you had to buy the special edition version, which came out way later.
Or you just paint it yourself like a real strong, powerful warrior.
Or paint it yourself like a real powerful warrior. Or wait until the next Zendikar set, because there's definitely going to be a sexy adventurer Jace.
But
mini.
why would there? I think there'd be a mini though, would there? Why would there be a mini?
Because they'll do a thing and a book and add-ons and stuff.
Yeah, well, the last book didn't have any models.
Yeah, but this one did.
Which one?
This one, the Theros one.
That's what I mean. Though. They don't do a D&D campaign for every setting. I mean, I think
they've done one for Zendikar already.
they should, Rob. But that
So it's a small. They don't have to do They have to do so much more work to get a proper book out of it. And everybody would love to have that book.
yeah. But I think Innistrad's probably the most popular one. But I guess it's too close to Strahd. I guess, like Curse of Strahd.
It is, yeah. It's not, that's the thing about Innistrad, right? Like it's one of the most popular Magic sets ever. It's one of the most one of the best playable formats, etc., etc., etc. But it's not the most iconically Magic plane.
No, that's true. That's true.
Like that's the trouble.
But they don't even have
what I want. I'd like to see like Weatherlight Saga D&D campaign.
Well, what the
So
fuck?
I want flying ships.
There should have been a Dominaria book. There should have been a Dominaria book, and they could.
Yeah.
Every single Magic set should have a book that comes with it, Rob. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if you've got this? Like, you've got the biggest, like, massive selling fucking card game in the world, and you've got the biggest tabletop RPG in the world as well, right? Why the fuck are you not just like reaping the money out of both of them by doing that? You know,
absolutely.
instead of giving us £100 fucking boosters. I want cool fancy books to look through, not a £100 booster that I feel bad about after opening.
Yeah, exactly.
And also,
a piece of art, you know.
You're saying how like Innistrad isn't that famous or whatever, right? Like, or that iconic, should we say? It is famous, but and it is iconic as such, but not like uniquely iconic, I guess. Well, if that's the case, obviously get an Innistrad book out of the way because people want one, and people will fucking bitch and moan if you don't. I guess we're gonna keep this and give this a shot. But then next time we go to Innistrad, like if they did this properly, and they were doing it back when Innistrad was first around, and we go to Shadows, don't do another book for it. Do like a PDF supplement or whatever, and then use that time to explore. So that product that comes out with each set, do a Legends of Dominaria where you go back in time. You know, or when the Dominaria set comes out, don't give us modern Dominaria, although people might want that, so that's still a book that would probably make sense in some ways. But give us a book that, like you said, goes back and shows us stuff that was happening in those old sets before D&D and Magic ever crossed over. You know, like have a Legends of Dominaria.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't want to go back to Ice Age, but I would love to have an Ice Age like style adventuring campaign. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Full illustrated novel. I think Magic should try to go towards that. I don't know. Why no Kamigawa book? Well, we haven't been back to Kamigawa in a while, but I mean, yeah, that should be.
Yeah, the trouble with the Kami War though is that like to go back to Kamigawa is set in the past.
Sure.
So if you were to bring, so you need to kind of like to do a book, you need to say like when it is going to be set, and if we're going to go back to Kamigawa, it's going to be presumably at a different time. Because maybe they'll do like a last series of Avatar style, where like the spirit world is like bled into the real world a lot more, and then have that be the world of Kamigawa. That could be interesting. And if they were going to do that, then you can't really do a book for old Kamigawa because you want to do all the new stuff, presumably.
Yeah, and also if you want to keep within the Magic lore, which I guess they do a little bit, they can't do old Kamigawa because it's too far in the past. Because the idea, I guess, is that you want people to buy these books, and then your characters can plane travel, whether it be via a ship from Dominaria or the planeswalking ability, if that's a thing they ever brought into it, whatever, and go between the planes, or the spells, because obviously in D&D they use spells to do this stuff, right? But if you have a Kamigawa set 1,000 years ago, you can't go from that Book of Theros to somewhere else when you hit like level 15 and become mythic or whatever and get those
spells. Yeah, because you can't travel through time and space.
Well, you could, but it'd be a clusterfuck to do in terms of mechanics and shit.
Yeah.
We're going to muck system and then die on next turn, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Muxus! Hey, Dad, I don't want to be rude, but I do think you need to be informed that a suspension amount would be a good upgrade to your stream, as the base of the death stumps is decently severe. Okay, so I need to do something then, because let's just go to face cam for a second.
Oh, before you do this,
it's on an arm. This is on an arm with a suspension cradle in the middle. So is my cradle not loose enough? Is that what the problem is? Is that what the issue is? Because I'm up for some engagement here, so let me know. But it's on an arm with a thingamabob. So you're not being rude. I'd love the help. What did you say, Rob? Sorry.
I was going to say before you go off on that, I need to go and get some more water.
Of course, go ahead. Sorry. So I probably need to loosen this somehow. I won't be doing that on stream, but I will take that on board. The cable tightness, do you reckon it's that? I can definitely loosen the cable. I thought, do you want it to be tighter?
Another one.
So we got to this, then we can go Skirk. And then Cranker only costs 3. It could just be proximity to the table, but Follux, that's the whole point. It's meant to stop the feet. It's meant to protect. Arctic's voice is in something that has a noise gate, like filtering on it. I had one of those installed on the rig before, and when I installed it on this rig, it caused me no world. We were getting popping on the stream. The elastic and suspension might be looser. How do I loosen that though? Because it's of a finite length, I think. Get some different elastic, maybe? We cannot do no more, my friends. I could have cast the lackey, but I guess you want some protection against something. I probably should just play the lackey. Because for like the clamp is part of the table, it's attached to the attached to the table. That's what you're meant to do with it. But the arm is meant to mount it to reduce that shock. Oh, we won a game. Fuck me. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. There's a dab. Ugh. I'm gonna switch over to playing some chalices against this opponent. Bringing in chalices plus a pyroblast feels pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I do want to make the sound as good as I can, chat, so I will do something about that. I just don't know what to do about it. The shock mount on the arm will be doing a good job of reducing transient vibrations, but being close to the tabletop, it might still be picking up the airborne sound. Oh, I see what you mean, the proximity of the mic to the... well...
I'm back.
Soon, my friends, or say soon. One day I'll have a bigger office, and then I'll be able to actually mount that somewhere else, and not have my legs like being fucking jolted up into my body as well. But yeah, that sounded like the vibrations, did it? Yeah. I'd rather more player supplements before setting books. That's what. But Velvet Drow with the GM, I'm kind of not saying that every book needs to be like, here's the setting, what the setting does. Here's a story in the setting. Like the Legends of Dominaria book could just be a thing that has a load of cool shit that is linked to Dominaria, like classes, races, the planes and stuff. You know.
I would like to get a little bit more mechanical detail on how Phyrexians work myself. Because that's what will really, because that's the adversary that you want.
Yeah.
Great for that. And to a lesser extent, I'd love to see a Mirrodin book.
Oh,
so
yeah.
rad.
We've been talking about these fucking settings like Mirrodin, New Phyrexia. What are the other settings? Because obviously I'm just thinking about recent stuff like Amonkhet and Throne. I know Throne is very similar to a lot of D&D stuff in many ways, but I think just the flavour of Throne was like lost to us because. Well, the book wasn't there, but like when I heard about some of the world building detail from people like Wizards, I was like, that's cool. That's really, really cool. I wish I could tell that from the emergent story on the art and the cards, because it was kind of lost. And then it was lost even more so because, of course, we got banged over the head with a fucking Oko.
Yeah, that's true.
Alara? Yeah. Alara could be interesting.
Alara's pretty D&D.
I don't know, like what, Esper and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Grixis probably not so much, but...
Yeah, Grixis and Esper, and I guess Jund is a lot like the jungles of Cholt, I guess, and then like Bant is very much like Faerun with knights and shit. Are there knights in Faerun? There's knights in Faerun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was banging on about Lorwyn. I think that's an interesting idea because you could have like you could go really deep on the day-night cycle thing, and so like different.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
each day will differentiate maybe.
Yeah, Kaladesh was a fucking missed opportunity, wasn't it? Let's be real. Like, that would be a great book.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
With all the extra stuff you can get. Delver of Secrets. They will trade that for my lackey, and that is sad. Mountain. Chromox. And we're going to put one of the Muxus under it, I guess, maybe?
Do we need the Instigator?
Well, yeah, because after I've played the War Chief this turn, the Instigator has haste next turn. I think I have two blockers we can swing with it. An uncountable war Instigator can swing. Because when I swing with Lackey and an Instigator, they can't block both.
Okay.
And then we get a Muxus. So maybe I just lose the Krenko, actually.
Yeah.
No, because we can play Krenko next turn thanks to the War Chief, so that's bad. No, don't do that.
Okay, Muxus down.
War Chief.
Go.
And it's literally just Ravenloft. Is Ravenloft the setting for Strahd?
Yep. Swing with both.
No, I don't want my lackey to die. I want next turn to have two
Oh,
bodies.
because you can trade your lackey. We can.
Yeah,
we'll
but my lackey's valuable. No, because then if they play another Delver, they can block the Instigator again, and so on and so on. Like, I want to swing next turn with two bodies that they can't block, force them to have removal spells, And failing that, we can then deploy Krenko. Because right now they're going to try and kill Lackey, right? Like, if they have the option to. But that's the point. It's not about the setting. Like, the setting is very similar to Ravenloft. They're both heavily inspired by, you know, the Gothic and stuff, right? But it's about the characters and the unique flavourful bits. So you want the Stitches.
You want the Hellvault, you want the werewolves, you want...
Yeah.
And the relationships. Because, like, the werewolves in Curse of Strahd are completely different to the werewolves.
So what are the werewolves in Curse of Strahd like, then?
They're more kind of like feral outcasts. They're kind of like trying to fight against Strahd's influence because he's slowly gaining power over them. So there are some that aren't and some that are. And then there's also a guy who's just out there to kill all the werewolves. So it's it's a bit of a different. They're more of a sort of a loose, like much more feral clan, whereas the werewolves in Innistrad are a bit more organized. They're a bit more. They're a bit more scary, to be honest. Like, you know, you see them, all the pictures of them, like they're like rampages through towns and stuff like that. They don't do that in Barovia. You know, they're a bit more. They're clearly like, you know, they're like the one that's like the blacksmith who turns into a werewolf. Like,
well, they're embedded into the culture, aren't they, in the society?
Which doesn't happen in Curse of Strahd.
Okay, if we swing now. The Stoneforger will block and kill one. The Lackey will die, but then they don't have a way to... Well, they can go... Stoneforge block the Lackey. Instigate will kill us and survive.
We'll lose both.
No, if we lose both, they lose both bodies. And they've just got to sort of finance. They want a body, don't they?
But they probably will block both.
Yeah, but I mean...
We can give it a go, though. I think we should force the issue.
No,
because we're not going to be able to do anything about Delver
that
flies.
23 months.
Besides
Fucking
our
crazy
one
ride,
general.
man. Hope the stream's been going well.
Well, thanks,
Only
Naki.
just got on. After a socially distant party with family after getting a proper permanent contract at work. Pleasure to Kawaii Kenobi post-stream Salita Bori League. Laughing face 3.
Congratulations, Naki. Well done, buddy. And yeah, we'll definitely play some League afterwards as well. And we can talk about that. That's great. Well done, mate. And 23 months as well. That's great. Thank you. A socially distanced party. So, yeah, we're not doing well with these goblins, my friend. We've just lost our Lackey. We lost 3 rounds. No, we won... Wait, did I win a round? No, this is the same round we're in. Ignore me. Okay. That wasn't great. So now if they untap player land... Well, actually, they can't put the sword in and equip it and attack with it. Unless they have Jit in hand. If they have Jit in hand, then we're a bit fucked. But, like, again, yeah, Amonkhet would be a perfect way to give them some, like, desert, like, you know, like, pseudo-Egyptian style setting that 5th edition doesn't currently have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
See,
that's why I wanted to do, like, Ice Ages, I think.
Yeah. That's the great thing, like I'm going to say in the review, the main thing... is that ancient Greek mythology or Greco-Roman or whatever, like, that's a thing, again, that they're missing from current 5th. So that's what these books can also, like, fill in those holes. I guess that's what they're kind of going for, to an extent. Because there was no... Is there no... I guess Ravnica is... Well, is there a big city, like, campaign setting? What is this?
Not in the same way as there is with Ravnica, where it's, like, a whole city thing.
Wow, that's really cool. I did not...
That's a big fish.
That's for the new commander set. I forgot. I vaguely remember seeing that art.
Yeah, what does it do?
It's a 3/3 delve creature, so it's 2 blue for a 3/3 if you have enough in the bin. It's got flying, and whenever it attacks, you can put a card that you've exiled with it back into your hand. An instant sorcery. So they're going to get Plowshares or Ponder back.
Good.
We need to draw some fucking cards. That is a fucking card, but I think we're just going to start making Krenkos then. Well, they're going to get Plowshares back now. Oh, this is shit. This is really, really shit. How someone 5-0 with this, I do not know. Not that this isn't powerful, but I feel like the fact that you don't have access to fucking anything is dumb. Now they can make a sort of Fire and Ice, stick it to Ethereal Forager and attack with it, which is pretty fucking stupid for us. I guess you got the Eberron campaign, which is actually quite like Mirrodin / Kaladesh, right? Or at least it ticks that box. Eberron is the steampunk, like, not literally, but it's the closest to a steampunk that D&D has, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I guess. But even then, even if this, like I said, like Innistrad versus Ravenloft, I get that something already exists. But don't forget, you're not necessarily making it for the average D&D player. You're kind of making it to, I guess, cynically market it to this like more casual crowd who might even be playing very little, if any, D&D. This might want a cool book which has like some flavour and shit in it, you know. But at the same time, you can use it to insert races and stuff, or classes or subclasses, like, you know, the Stitcher and stuff. Because they should allow players to be Stitchers, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Stitcher isn't in D&D anymore, though, is it? Or does it still exist?
Stitcher.
Yeah, the city from Sigil from Planechase, not Planechase, Planescape.
Planescape. I believe so. I'm trying to think. I'm sure there is a campaign that takes you there briefly, or I still might be thinking 3.x. But if it isn't, it definitely will be.
So yeah, Plowshares back in the hand. Shoot our war chief. Fucking. This is so shit. Maybe they won't kill our war chief like a fool. No, they saw the line.
Did indeed. Just make some goblins.
No, they Plowshares the Krenko and we get one goblin out of it. What's the point? It's just not going anywhere with that. Right, we are 1-1 with this opponent. They are on Delver. Guess our Chalice of the Voids are still pretty good. Right, let's give that a shot. We have a much better idea of what our opponent's doing now. We have cards that are better against them, that we can shoot for. We have Pyrokinesis, a Chrome Mox, a War Chief, and a Krenko. This is slow. I'm going to keep it because of Pyrokinesis and just play a slow game, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you not want Lucky's back in the play? No, because we're still playing Chalice, so I don't know if I really want loads of 1-drops. Also, Lucky is kind of famously bad.
Another one.
We can turn to a Krenko here, but then they're just going to fucking kill it, probably. Cavern of Souls is good, so maybe we should wait. What if we ditch Pyrokinesis of the Chromox, play an uncountable War Chief here, and then play Krenko the following turn, see where we get from there? So they haven't played as a Delver here, so they haven't got a...
Well, that suggests they got hand on removal. That's the main worry.
Or maybe Counter Spells and Cavern of Souls is just, like, turned off their hand.
Maybe.
Am I hyped for the Gladiator tank? Yeah, I am. I want to stop buying Marine stuff so I can buy
Another one.
other stuff. Like, when I finish 2,000 points of Necrons, okay, they got Plowshares there, so that's fine. 2,000 points of Necrons, then I want to move into Custodies and stuff, but obviously I also want the Hammerfall turret, the ATV, the Gladiator. Yeah, I guess maybe we should be playing Lackey on the play and not playing our Chalice against these decks. This is a conversation we had about the second round opponent as well, where I wasn't sure if there was much value in bringing Chalice in when they can still fuck us up regardless of playing a Chalice. Because I guess with Stoneforge decks as well, the value of Chalice gets lower because they can just play Stoneforge into an artifact, and especially if they've got the Sky Whale as well. I just don't feel like this deck is that good because we've had insane turns that have done nothing. But again, that's probably an issue with the composition of our threats and tools more so than the actual general game plan. Okay, let's make a Krenko. Also, the other thing, Stim, as well, on that topic, is that I kind of do want to get to my 2,000 points of Blood Angels 2. Why the Ancient Two of the Mountain there? Oh, I wasn't thinking. There's no reason to. Literally no reason to. Was not thinking. Too busy talking through all the other shit. Can we draw Muxus? No, we can draw this, which isn't terrible, I guess. But they have a Battle Skull, so we can't swing. Make a Battle Skull. If we can draw like a Ringleader or a Matron or something, like something that actually... Well, Muxus is obviously very good too. Well, Muxus is insane because we have Cavern of Souls and they can't counter it.
Yep.
So Muxus is obviously our best draw. But any of the value goblins, the value or toolbox goblins would be great. So we're going to take 4 here, they're going to go to 23, we're going to go to 16. We need to play around Days Steals now because we've got Cavern, so playing Tomb was incorrect. It played into Wasteland and damaged us, which could end up being relevant. They've got a Delver. Can we top deck a Muxus, please? Well, that feels bad. Especially the turn after they play the Delver as well.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That's really bad.
I get there sometimes.
Cool. So they had a Spell Snare, which doesn't hit much in our deck, but it definitely hits the Chalice that we fucking got in our deck. But then again, if we'd drawn Lackey in that situation, it wouldn't have been much better either, would it? I guess it was at least a 2/2 body with haste. So it would have been better, but not hugely better. So that's not much of a muchness, I guess. Would I let someone fill the Sanguinius model from Horus Heres's Gulliman? Yeah, I'd let people fucking fill the shoe as Gulliman if they really needed to. Like, let people proxy shit, you know? Magic, magic, magic. Gulliman does have a model, yeah. Well, this is fun. Oh my goodness.
Just not getting there tonight. It's so frustrating.
Well, maybe we should be keeping the lackeys in. That's probably like the biggest decision we can make is whether or not we keep our lackeys in post-board and whether we bother using these chalices.
Yeah, I guess so. But if we're not going to bring him in on these sorts of matchups, then...
Well, the chalice is obviously at its best against combo.
Fair point.
At least they can't spell snare it. Okay. Maybe we'll hit Muxus and it will do like insane things like hit Krenkos, haste enablers, and pingers and shit. A Krenko, a Scope Prospector, a Sharpshooter, and another Chieftain, I think. Oh, they've got a sort of Fire and Ice here, haven't they? Yep. Just drew it. Just fucking drew it. Cool. We're dead. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Did not have fun.
Time.
Right, I'm going to call it there. I'm feeling very tired, and I feel like I have picked... I for the first time in a very, very long time, I put my faith in just taking the first 5-0 list from a markup that I wanted to play, and just being like, that'll do, pig, and then grabbing the cards about half an hour before the stream, and then loading it up and talking about it. And that was wrong. So what I should have done is do what I normally do, which is normally fuck around with some number of cards in the deck. The thing is about cutting Lackey, your opponent has to pay as much removal as possible, as just in case you do cut them, and therefore by cutting them, they'll feel like they have way more removal than the threats you have. They probably do. They probably do. They had the partials that game and they did it on our Lord anyway, so I guess if we had Lackey... I don't know. I don't know where you're meant to keep Lackeys and when you're not. So that is the biggest decision we've got to make. But on the whole, I felt like our decisions were fucking just minimal. So the sideboarding was obviously a big choice. We played Reanimator twice. I don't think keeping Lackey in against Reanimator was right. But maybe it is. Maybe your sideboarding is meant to be this. No, like that. And you keep... Is that what you do against Reanimator? I mean, they turn 2 to Grizzleband, like most... Like, not all of the games.
But most of the game.
The game where we turn 2 made like 40 power, they made a turn 2 Grizzleband, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they store... Didn't they then let Children of Corliss us? Was that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so I guess this is the sideboarding against Reanimator instead? I don't know. I think I'm too tired to look at this in a constructive way, I think.
Yeah, I think we...
I do this thing where, like, on Mondays I try to get in the habit of, like, not working all day, so that, like, when it comes to the stream I'm much more invigorated. And then obviously after having a week off, I come into the... I've got to figure out how I do this. I did, like, 5 weeks on, week off, 5 weeks on, week off, because I'm working quite a bit. But what I've done now is I've had a week off, and then I've got to the Monday where I'm raring to go. And obviously I see my numbers dipping down, I'm not putting anything out. So I want to make a big video and do all my admin and do all this shit. So I've just this has been a solid day. And I've got to now and I'm fucking tired, which I shouldn't do. So I need to rework how I do the Mondays after, when I do take a week off after doing like the 5 week on sort of thing. Yeah. Because, yeah. But I got to take I don't know. So I think I'm too tired to be too openly really critical about this in a way that's helpful. But I do feel like Reanimator is just a shit match. You probably want your more expensive things rather than the grindy payoffs. I agree. I mean... But we took... Hey, did you see the Reanimator matches? Because I kind of want to have this conversation if you saw them. Because I feel like we're having the Jafar situation where we're talking about something you didn't see. Because we turned 1, played a War and Instigator, and died. Like, it wasn't great. You don't get more explosive than War and Instigator turn 1 into Matron into Muxus, do you? You saw that, yeah? So, like, I know anecdotally that we had a higher chance of being... Not anecdotally. Yeah, we got Tensor hard, exactly. So, not anecdotally. So, anecdotally, we played aggressively and died. Non-anecdotally, playing Lackey plus War Instigator gives you 8 options to be aggressive on the play. So, I guess perhaps keeping Lackey in there is correct as well. I think the idea of playing Charles the Void and Lackey in the same deck just makes me feel a bit ill, I guess. I really don't like it. That's probably more on me than the deck itself. But we got lucky in having Instigator, and then we still got bodied. So I don't really think there was much we could do in the Reanimator matches. So we played Reanimator twice. We played actual Reanimator, and we played Tin Fins. What was the third match? No, Stim, the deck isn't just bad. Like, I know people are going to meme about this, but have you looked at the Legacy metagame recently? Like, I know again, it's Goldfish, but look, there's a reason there's 5.45% of the metagame is this. There's a reason there's a lot of 5-0 lists, right? Muxus is genuinely a very good card, and the deck around is pretty good. Like, so we can't just I can't sit here and say this deck is bad, honestly, even though I joked about it earlier. That's just not fair, because otherwise it wouldn't be doing this. Goblins wouldn't suddenly be more of a percentage share than Death and Taxes and Dark Depths combined. Well, not quite. So that's not fair. However, I do think the variant that we're playing, which is this one up here... No, it's not this one up here. It's the 5-0. Oh, this is updated. This Goblins was here at the beginning of the stream, so this is updated. Goblins, the reason I started playing Post is too slow. It's the reason you start... Oh, stop playing Post. So start playing Post seems like a bad idea. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Goblins is pretty good right now, exactly. Like, if you look at the 5-0 lists, so this might be the one we took. I'm actually not sure which one I took. I have to go and have a look. It looks pretty much the same. Yeah. Like, we had no Sting Scourge main board, like I said. We had no actual kills condition other than going to combat. We didn't have a Sharpshooter plus attack outlet. We didn't have Shalik Mons. We didn't have a Lieutenant.
Which seems odd, because Goblins is so set up to give you that option of being like the go wide, go tall, or combo finish.
Yeah, I see. Stim's saying the same thing. Stim is saying this variant, not the archetype itself, but this variant. I agree. Like Rob's saying, why would you not?
Yeah.
You've got 4 Matrons and 4 Ringleaders and 4 Muxus, or 3 Muxus in this version. Maybe that's wrong too. I'm not sure. But if you've got all of this stuff to find all of your pieces, why the fuck would you not have at least one way to combo kill someone? Or even not like without combos, without
another one.
Either the putting Kikichiki on top with the Harbinger and the thing, Or, like we said, the Patriotic Mons, like pseudo combo, it's not infinite, but it's a lot of damage. Even without those, why not a Kiki and a Lightning Crafter for that sort of jazz as well? All that sort of nonsense, you know? The stuff that we've played before, where you get to like Lightning Crafter them for 9 damage and like play 3 matrons because of it and shit, you know? The thing about Goblins is that it's like D&T, you can buy 1 shell and play Modern and Legacy. Yeah, now you can. You can. Or now you could, should we say, because Matron and Ringleader were added obviously very recently through, was it M20 and Horizons? Maybe the other way around? No, that was definitely it, because this is not in Historic, but this is. So yeah, you had that happen for a while. Now it's deviating again, because now the Legacy deck, obviously the Ports and Wastelands aren't in Modern anyway, but now you've also got the Muxus Ancient Tomb version. Have you seen how much a playset of Muxus is online, Rob?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like 200 and something.
The majority of the deck is just like...
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm saying it's the good thing. I know you say it's a good thing, Jafar. I'm saying that that's not necessarily the case anymore. I'm saying it was for a period. When these were added, that was great, because then the Goblins deck of the Modern Legacy started to look the same. Because obviously before that you had like 8-whack and shit, right? So yeah, you're right, it was like that. And now, again, we're moving away, because now we have Ancient Tombs, and we have Chrome Moxes to be explosive, to play 6-mana Dork bodies, which aren't... This isn't even legal in Modern. It's only legal in Jumpstart and... Oh, sorry, Legacy and Historic. So again, we're moving away from it a little bit. So yeah, I think the deck's obviously powerful. There's really sick turns and that's fun. But fuck me, we had just multiple games where we'd have like a good turn, and then we're like, well, we can't interact. And that's the thing, we had no way to interact. I mean, I've said this a lot, right? Is it better than Patriotic Mons though? Well, this, as an engine, this is better than Patriotic Mons, yes. As a way to kill your opponent, not necessarily. As you saw, we made like 30, 40 power or whatever it was, then died. So no, but this isn't a 1-for-1 swap. Patriotic Mons and Muxus aren't even in the same slot, Jafar. That's a whole different kettle of fish. Patriotic Mons is like this damage output combo end sort of thing, where Muxus is like just a huge value engine. It's like Collected Company on a Super Goif. It's weird. It's Goblins to Goblins, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so I might play this again at some point. I might play the video once I've played a few more games with it, and I think it definitely needs its toolbox back. But maybe I'm too much of a... I want to rely on the holy cows or the stuff that I've always relied on when playing decks. Like, when I see people cut down to 2 recruiters in D&T, it makes me sad. I'm always like, no, give me 3. Comparing the VAL to this variant, from everything you have said, wouldn't you rather play the VAL version? At the moment, I think, yeah, I agree. Because the only Tomb version of the deck I've played before is the one that plays Mog Catcher, the old Mog Stompy one. So instead of Muxus, what you had was this card. Mog Catcher? Am I spelling it wrong?
Another one.
How else do you spell Mog Catcher? Is it 1G? What the fuck? What am I doing wrong?
Hyphen.
Thank you for joining the Patreon. Welcome, welcome. Oh, there's no space. There we go. This
Another
thing.
one.
Where you tap it for 3 mana, search your library for a Goblin permanent card, and put it onto the battlefield of your library. It's not a Goblin itself, so it can't be found off Matron, and it can't be Muxus into play, so there's a lot of downsides to it. But it's really fun to then just go and grab like Kikis and all that sort of shit. And then you can play it alongside Goblin Wizard, which puts things out of your hand, but also gets into Pro White. Goblin Wizard? No, Goblin Wizard, Vince. So this is the version I played against. It's the first version that not... I remember playing this for the first time and seeing Goblin Wizard because it knocks me out of contention. It's a finals for a GPT down in Bournemouth. And the guy knocked me out and then gave me the win anyway because he wasn't going to the GP. And it was this card. I was playing D&T and they played this. How do I view preview on this fucking thing? Oh, whatever. I'll get up on here. This is much easier. You may put a Goblin permanent card from your hand into play by tapping it, and target Goblin gains protection from white until end of turn. Which, when you've never seen that card before, you're playing D&T, they play it, and you're like, oh, well, fuck me. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so streaming's always fun. Talking about D&D is always fun. I feel like the composition we had of the deck was a bit meh. Right, let's go raid somebody. Who are we raiding? Let's go to Twitch, not my dashboard. That would help. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. There'll be more videos all throughout the week. There will probably be some form of stream at some point later in the week because I want to go for partner again and try and convince Twitch that I am a real content creator.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to happen, but what can you do? What are people playing? Should we raid? Let's raid Surge. When you get in there, please keep your language to a nice, fluffy, not being sweary, because Surge does not... He has a family friendly. No, still, I didn't lose partner. I've never been partner. I've applied 3 times total, been turned on every single time, just haven't bothered for quite a while now. Right. Let's go ahead and raid. Yep. I don't know, Stan. They asked you to give all the accolades. They asked like, how many followers do you have elsewhere? What else do you do? And I'm like, here's my subscriber account from YouTube. And they're like, sorry, you need to prove to us that you can grow a community. I'm like, okay, Twitch. Alright, I'll go and grow the community more. No, don't apologise. It's just Twitch is fucking weird. Right, good night, kids. And there'll be some more Legacy on the channel soon because I did enjoy playing Legacy the other day, even if tonight was a bit of a get ruffle stomped game. Right, ta-ta for now.
Okay, everybody. Bye.
More in detail, and let's be clear, I don't. I would think about maybe adding some more variation in the height up here, maybe varying the color. The fact that it's flat white is not great. Yo! What's up, PleasantKenobi?